Main event time here for round number one of the 2023 Ohio Sprint Series from Thompson Kart Raceway. And everyone is set for the first of 9 flagship events to come. 12 minutes plus 2 laps the distance for each of these main event sessions. Let's go back to the starting lineup based off our pre-final results here from the Ohio Sprint Series Round 1 earlier this morning. For those of you watching, of course, you're watching live on Kart Chaser Premium. We've got plenty of people here in the paddock as well. And so for what has been an entertaining day of racing already, it's just about to get a whole lot better. Main event time, 2:06 Sportsman. The pre-final results, of course, Logan McCloskey on the pole. He led from the pole in qualifying and pulled away. John Haydu will start, I believe, alongside in second. Anthony Ciafani coming from the rear after a spin in the pre-final. Here we go. We're green down to turn number 1 and 2, and underway we go as everyone's going to survive and get to quickly single file action through the first couple of corners. And Ciafani, who spun out of third in the pre-final, is up to fourth here halfway through lap number 1.
Great recovery for Ciafani, and now that he is in this mix of this competition, he could have a shot of getting a podium finish here as they come around to complete lap number 1 and get themselves started here down the back straightaway. But for Logan McCloskey, he is going to start stretching that lead out in that Ricardo.
Yeah, Logan McCloskey there in the 102 blue and white car leads the way. It's the orange and white Kart Republic of Sebastian Ryman in second. A great start for him ahead of Addison Haydu there in the 114. The young lady with the pink helmet and the blue and white energy carts in third. And then again, Anthony Ciafani fourth. Harrison Bell is fifth. Logan Pollock had a spin in the pre-final. He is sixth ahead of Declan Clear in the 100. So down the front stretch they go for the leading group, and it's the tightest around fourth and fifth, but it's pretty evenly balanced there from first back to fifth. This also got a little bit tight there as Addison Haydu gets kind of tripped up on the rear bumper of Sebastian Ryman. It'll bring Anthony Ciafani back to the rear bumper, but they all stay single file. This track requires a lot of confidence to try and make some aggressive moves. You don't have that long straightaway to get in the slipstream and pull alongside someone. It's all under braking. It takes a lot of guts and almost like jumping into the deep end of a pool for the first time to go deeper than your normal marker to get alongside someone, deeper than where you're comfortable with. And it takes a while for these 206 Sportsman kids to be able to get that kind of confidence. So we'll see if we get to see any kind of shuffling through the field here. It's a long one. Again, 12 minutes plus 2 laps. We're only 2 minutes in, so there's still plenty of time to work their way around. And we saw some attrition in that pre-final with the likes of Ciafani. But they get close, and sometimes you think a move might happen, and then they just hang back and hesitate for a moment here. Again, another good run for Addison Haydu in the infield section. She'll pull up to the rear bumper of Sebastian Ryman, and they'll stay nose to bumper all the way down the backstretch to the outer loop.
Here comes low. Right behind is Anthony Ciafani, who's right there in the mix. He is trying to see if he can find a way around Addison, but now loses a little bit of ground as they come out of the final corner to start once again another lap.
Yeah, Anthony Ciafani, he's on that red and white Paralyn kart, the 171 there in fourth. This is second back to fifth right now. Your leader, Logan McCloskey, has already broken away to the point he's no longer in the camera shot. He's got about a 2-second cushion back to this group of 4. Second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way back there to Harrison Bell in the black and blue kart. So they'll head through the final turn, over through turn 1. Again, that's past the timing line. This is a good run here for Addison Haydu, but I still don't think, and indeed, she will not be close enough through turn number 2 to be able to make anything happen there. So it stays the same as they come out of 3.
She's being very confident behind the wheel of that number 114 machine as Addison now gets a good run out of the hairpin. Will stay tucked up behind the driver of Sebastian Ryman, that Kart Republic machine, as they come out of the couple of final corners, and a good run, but it's not wanting to push the envelope. Maybe wanting to try to get a little bit of distance between those two as well as the rest of the field in order to maybe have a good chance to make a pass without worrying about being overtaken if a mistake were to happen.
Yeah, and that would, again, going back to some of the bigger racetracks many of these kids have been used to on the, and especially for us, used to on the national circuit, that would make a difference. And here, again, you don't really get any benefit of drafting, so you're just, benefiting by not passing. And that can be something to be said, but they're still all together, even with them staying single file for second and third. In fact, that time they got bottled up coming out of the hairpin. So I think Sebastian Ryman, while unintentionally, is holding up this group just a little bit by being a little bit slower than the rest of them as he runs in second on that white and orange. Kart Republic there in position number 2. Out of that corner, big run as well for the back of the train there in the black and blue, 144, Harrison Bell. He's also trying to make some hay, but again, it's a great start for Sebastian Ryman, coming out of the midfield in qualifying, getting up to the front 2 rows into start the main event at the end of the pre-final, and now here he holds on to second, and it would be a nice podium result here for Sebastian if he can hang on. He's still got a long way to go. We're just inching closer to that halfway marker of 6 minutes and done, and 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
A lot of work to do here for Addison as she's starting to fall back just a little bit on Ryman. He's got about a kart length advantage over the rest of the field as they now get scrunched back together. That accordion effect coming into play as they go back into turn number 1. Good run for Addison as she tries to get right to the back bumper of Sebastian Ryman, but not able to make the pass happen just yet. Biding her time, but right there behind Anthony Ciafatti, really starting to pressure her.
We'll keep a tab on the timing monitor as well. Logan McCloskey will hit lap traffic, it looks like, in this one. Declan Clear and Logan Pollock have picked up the pace a little bit, but they won't be enough, I don't think, to stay out of the danger zone of going 1 lap down. That'll be the only really obstacle, it looks like, for your race leader. Logan McCloskey was half a second quicker than Sebastian Ryman and the rest of the pack last time by. A 28.483 for Logan McCloskey, a 29.0 or a 28.9 for everyone in this 4-car train right now from second back to 5th. So your race leader out in front by over 5 seconds and climbing. And again, he'll also be running up to the end of the train with 6th and 7th to Logan Pollock and Declan Clear sooner rather than later as this group heads down through turn number 2 once again.
Sebastian Ryman's almost like that cork in a bottle at the moment. Once I think with these 3 drivers such as Addison, Anthony, and Harrison get around him, then that could possibly help where they could close the gap. I don't know if they can catch Logan, but they can definitely maybe try to eat a little bit into that time.
Out of there, Anthony Ciafatti a little wide while Harrison Bell went narrow coming out of the outer loop, but no change. They'll come down the back straightaway once again. Still single file. Ciafatti and some more parents and mechanics giving a little bit of sign there from the fence line, saying to make some moves, but he's just not able to do it, and the same for Addison Haydu. So Addison, another big run coming out of turn number 4 and gets right back to the bumper. Sebastian Ryman doesn't do anything with it here. For your race leader, again, we're keeping that tab. It looks like to me he's only a lap or 2 away from catching Logan Pollock.
Oh, trouble.
Oh, no, around in the final turn. Around is gone Anthony Ciafatti. That trouble corner, turn number 1 on the official layout, has once again become a problem spot, and the red and white Paralyn has given up 4th. He's fallen all the way back to maybe 6th by the time he's gotten back going. Indeed, it looks like he should be just ahead of Declan Clear and Logan Pollock. So position number 5. It hurts Harrison Bell. He'll inherit the 4th spot. 2nd and 3rd now get a big gap as, again, that corner, even in the bigger classes, has been told by many drivers of experience that that's a tricky spot to get through without dropping a tire, and that's exactly what happened. Anthony Ciafatti just dropped the right rear off the side of the racetrack as they get a little bit tight there through turn number 3.
Addison showing a little bit of the chrome horn right there, trying to see if she can get around Sebastian Ryman as they continue to do battle here, as they work their way out of the final couple of corners. Addison just poking and prodding, trying to find that opening she needs to get second away.
So here we go down the backstretch again for Addison Haydu and Sebastian Ryman. We have an updated look at where the timers gaps are. Anthony Ciafatti is about 5 seconds back from Harrison Bell in 5th, back to 4th. And again, lap traffic coming. Declan Clear, Logan Pollock. The leader should be on them as Addison, a little look to the inside there in the back hairpin. Turn number 5 could not get the job done. Still the same, 2nd and 3rd, but at least they're both safely onto the podium with a healthy gap out back. 8 seconds to the lead.
Yeah, Logan McCloskey just went around Logan Pollock, put him a lap down. He's about to put Declan Clear a lap down momentarily as we watch this battle here for second, as Addison Haydu just trying to find that opening she needs. She was trying to be a little bit braver at certain points as we get further and further into this race, but she's got to make something happen here pretty soon.
Yeah, we're getting down to crunch time, the final quarter of this main event coming to a close with 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Still, that's plenty of time. It'll end up being around a 22 to 23 lap final when things are all said and done for 206 Sportsman here in the first of 9 classes for the Ohio Sprint Series. through turn 4 for Addison Haydu. Sebastian Ryman there in second, a car length up. Again, they're 9 seconds back from race leader Logan McCloskey in the 102, who's done a fantastic job here today. Logan, again, leading from the pole in qualifying through flag to flag in the heat race, and then here he is dominating this main. He had to give up again a little bit of time to get around lap traffic. It brought the gap down to 7.5 seconds. Declan clear as around goes Addison Haydu with a half spin. Here comes Harrison Bell. Big run on the nitro kart. He's trying to look high, look low. Oh, man, the first mistake there out of Addison Haydu, and she loses a lot of position and time to Sebastian Ryman in the 191.
That now gives Sebastian a chance, as long as he does not make a mistake, the chance to secure that second position. Now Addison's going to have to fight for her life against Harrison Bell, who's been consistent, which we'll see how that will play out.
So here they come out of 3. Again, you can see the difference in lines that time, down to 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go. And what was a battle for second becomes a battle for third. Sebastian Ryman's catching lap traffic here. The 191 is going to have to navigate his way around Logan Pollock, and it kind of gets tripped up, and that's going to allow Addison Haydu to get by. Harrison Bell can't get through. He tried to as well, and a change for second. Addison now to the high side there around the 113 of Logan Pollock, and Pollock even a little tight, not realizing Sebastian Ryman was there. Now Harrison Bell's got to find a way past. So lap traffic we knew would be a factor. Now it's changed positions for second and third.
We talked about that. You got to watch out, not make any mistakes. That right there was a costly mistake right there for Samuel Ryman. So he's now got to slide back in and get back on the wheel in order to try and challenge Addison Ray.
Yeah, so problems for Sebastian Ryman there. Blue flags waving. Harrison Bell picks up the position back from Logan Pollock. Gets him clear racetrack from fourth up the road to third. And let's see what Sebastian Ryman can do now, going back on the chase to hunt down Addison Haydu. All the while, Logan McCloskey now is less than a minute and 2 laps away from getting the first checkered flag of the afternoon. Down the backstretch we go once again. McCloskey's lead, 10.6 seconds back here to this grouping, second, third, and fourth on the racetrack to turn 3.
Heading down into the hairpin, Addison Haydu continues to hold on, but here comes Sebastian Ryman as they work down the short chute over into the outer loop. Good run for Sebastian as he tries to pull up to the back bumper. Not able to this time, as you see Addison starting to pull away by about 2 kart lengths.
Yeah, she'll open that back up there. Across the line here once again, 20 seconds plus 2 laps to go. That battle's all but subsided. Here's a look at your race leader. Hasn't got a lot of airtime because he's made this one a smooth run from start to finish. Logan McCloskey on the blue and white Ricardo kart comes across the line there just underneath the timestamp, so it'll be 2 to go next time by for the 102. It'll end up being a 27-lap main event here at Thompson Kart Raceway, but a great start to the day, a clean start to the day here for everyone. And for Logan McCloskey, a dominating run here today, looking to continue that to tomorrow to set himself up for an Ohio State Series championship. He's a lap away from the first checkered flag of the season.
Coming up now as he works his way across, he got the 2 to go signal as he continues a little bit of yellow flag situation. 1 kart around just up ahead of him. He will put another lap down. That's Logan Pollock. So that will be 2 laps down for him momentarily as he goes around again.
Yeah, Pollock around over at the outside of turn number 3. So Logan Pollock, unfortunately, his day will end a little bit early. Declan Clear is done. And through the final couple turns and across the line, Logan McCloskey. 1 lap to go here in the Ricardo kart. The blue and white machine's done a great job. My mistake, 28 laps will be the total. And Logan McCloskey through turn 3. Last time around, Thompson Kart Raceway here this afternoon. His day will have a nice and early ending, but it'll end on a good note. Addison Haydu, Sebastian Ryman gave it everything they had. It's just not going to be enough here on this Saturday afternoon for the first main event winner. It's Logan McCloskey in 206 Sportsman here in Thompson. The 102 is a race winner in the newly rebranded Ohio Sprint Series. Addison Haydu second. Sebastian Ryman will end up in third in a close battle for second and third coming across the line. Harrison Bell at the end got back all the way to them for fourth to make up for the ground he lost with the lap traffic. Anthony Ciafani fifth. Declan Clear, Logan Pollock sixth and seventh. And now we switch our eyes and focus to the 206 juniors as they make their way to the grid. 206 Junior onto the racetrack here for the Ohio Sprint Series, the second of 9 main events we've got lined up for you as they work their way out of turn number 3 and begin to form. This one also, again, a pretty tame pre-final. It was a little more action than the 206 Sportsman, and it kind of built up, and we got even more than that when we got into the 206 Seniors, earlier today. So let's see if the 206 Juniors have anything extra in store for their pre-final. Dylan White's on the pole, that's your 206 Senior. Go back for your 206 Junior pre-final. It's Tegan Schneider, who did a great job, kept it about a half second to second gap the whole race. Back to Riley Davis. James Strapko starts third. Logan Stockdale, Logan Upton, your top 5. Here we go into the lines, and we're green down to turn number 2. And trying to rip the top side is Riley Davis side by side with Strapko through turn 3. They're all going to survive. A little bit of contact and a couple drivers further back going off. One of them, I believe, might have been Jack Haydu or George Ma, but your leader, Tegan Schneider, with an easy lead as they go into the final few corners. That dog leg onto the front straightaway. 1 lap completed now. Riley Davis is right there here at the end of lap number 1.
Riley Davis putting on a stellar drive and trying to see if he can get to the inside. Has an opening, but has to now go to the outside lane into the hairpin as we see Schneider holding strong. But here comes James Strapko, who is all over the back bumper. And now we see the defensive line going in for Schneider.
Yeah, Schneider defensive in turn 5. That'll stack them up here. It'll give Logan Stockdale the opportunity to close up towards the leaders. Riley Davis got all the way up to the center of the bumper, kind of punched it there through the final turn number 1 complex, and that backed him up down the straightaway. Let's see if Riley's got something over in 3. Poking out, looking inside for the lead. Riley Davis is through, and Schneider trying to go right back into the back hairpin. What a battle here to kick things off in 206 Junior. Down the inside for Schneider, and clear. Davis back to second. We've got 5 now together here for the lead.
5 cars make it 6 karts battling for that top spot. If you throw in that 817 of Jack Haydu, who's right there at the tail end of this group. They coming through turns 2 now, heading into the hairpin. Schneider being very smart, trying to hold the line. Davis looking to get back around to the inside once again as they head over to the outer loop. But there you see James Strapko falling back just a tick as he now seeing the field start to spread apart a little bit.
Little mistake from Riley Davis in turn 5, but he got a good exit out of it as he closes back on up to the front straightaway, and down the backstretch we go. The top 3 a little more spread apart than 4th, 5th, and 6th. Logan Upton under heavy pressure here from that black and red speed of Jack Haydu for the 5th spot. Logan Stockdale on the white and orange Kart Republic, kind of in no man's land in 4th, and Riley Davis now even further back from the race leader, Tegan Schneider. So had a shot, took his shot, and then lost the lead back 2 corners later. Now he's got to kind of remount that charge again. Otherwise, James Strapko is going to be looking for a way by and might be able to do something as they go through turn number 2.
Here comes the 2 Logans right now to the back bumper of Strapko as they come out of turn number 3 out of the hairpin, making the run through the short chute over towards the outer loop here. We see Logan Stockdale putting the pressure on James as they work their way out of the final corners across the line here. Just can't seem to find that opening he needs to get past.
No, not able to find it here. Down the backstretch once again for Tegan Schneider. Riley Davis still there. Logan Stockdale behind Strapko for 3rd. Not going to do anything in turn number 3, but again, Strapko under the biggest amount of pressure right now from Logan Stockdale. Stockdale just kind of again riding, not making any moves. We've seen only one really good aggressive attempt there by Riley Davis and one little bit of defending from Tegan Schneider, but nothing too out of the ordinary here in the main event. And they're all playing, again, very tame right now. And I'm just waiting to see if that'll uptick or if they need a little more confidence. And sometimes it comes away from the end of the day, Taylor, where you get that kind of burning frustration that you're like, I should have had it, I could have had it. Racers loves to say, we didn't show our true pace. We didn't show the potential we had. Well, you have to kind of burn through a day, and then you come back the next day with a chip on your shoulder, and you're like, yeah, the next opportunity I get, I'm sending it.
Yeah, and we're going to see if anyone decides to do that here. I'm keeping an eye on Riley Davis and James Strapko. They could be the ones who could, in a way, send it towards the end. But here we go, right to the inside. Logan Stockdale will push that James Strapko off the course. He'll fall back almost to 5th spot. He's got to be a little bit defensive right there to hold on and not fall out of the top 5.
Yeah, he'll have dirt on the tires. He slotted in right in front of Jack Haydu, kind of hurt them both. And was a weird deal there as they all stacked up through 3. Stockdale got alongside, and then as he kind of pulled clear, it looked like Strapko was trying to kind of tuck back in line, and he hit himself off the left rear of Stockdale versus just getting fully clear behind him. Now Stockdale drops a tire of his own out of turn number 3. Logan Upton still pushing him forward to try and reel back in Riley Davis and Tegan Schneider for the lead. Davis and Schneider been pretty evenly matched for the most part. Every once in a while, Schneider will pull a little bit of a gap. That time he pulled about 0.08 over Riley Davis for the lead here. Still not yet to the halfway marker, but getting closer. And the Logans, 3rd and 4th, trying to reel in the leaders. That time by, they were still a little slower. Let's see if this time's any better for the kids in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, so far they're about 0.2 off the pace of your race leader of Schneider as they work their way over into turn number 1. But here comes Stockdale and Upton. They're going to try to push themselves a little bit, try to see if they can make up a little time in order to find their way back to the main group.
They did that time. That was about a 10th gain for 3rd and 4th over Tegan Schneider, who also, again, gave up a 10th to Riley Davis. So it's tightened up just by 1/10 for the leading 4. It might have tightened up again here this time. Let's see it here right around the halfway mark. 6 in, 6 to go. There's your signals down the front stretch. Tegan Schneider getting 1 to go, and he definitely pushed it at the end of that lap. He pulled that back even. It was looking like they were going to close up to him, and then in that final section of corners, he pulled the gap back open away. So your leading quartet still together here but not battling, and that's what James Strapko needs. He needs a battle for the top 4 to bring himself back into the mix because his lap times are almost good enough to lead the race, about a 10th off, but he's a 1.5 away. He needs a lot of shuffling for the lead, some more calamity like what he experienced to give himself a shot at the podium once again.
Meanwhile, Tegan Schneider just dropped the fastest lap of the race with the 27.589. Here and comes Riley Davis, though. Is he going to look in the outer loop? No, he's going to not do it. He's going to be patient for a few more minutes at least, but he doesn't have enough time. He's got to try to find a way to get that opening. Gets a good run out of turn 1. Could he try to dive it to the inside?
Just mistimed it, but it's enough to apply some pressure and force Tegan Schneider to go to the low side through turn number 2 and defend for the lead, and that'll again back everybody up. Here comes Logan Stockdale 4 car lengths back down the back straightaway. Schneider defended there, left it open back at turn 5 in the outer loop, and oh man, really Davis kind of didn't expect Schneider to be as slow as he was coming out of the corner. It knocked him sideways. He let him hold the lead, but here comes Logan Stockdale, here comes Logan Upton, and we are nose to tail, closer than we've been in almost all race for the top 4. Here comes Davis inside turn 3, and they're going to go 2 by 2 coming out. Logan Stockdale on the outside, Schneider on the inside. That's for second, side by side, and all the way down to the bottom is Logan Upton trying to go through to 3rd. He can't do it. It'll be Riley Davis leading the way. Then Schneider into 2nd, Stockdale into 3rd with 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. We've got a new leader.
We certainly do, with 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go on the clock as they work their way out of turn 2 into the hairpin. Really good racing craft there for Riley Davis. And also, how about some heads-up driving by both Schneider and Stockdale to try and battle and set themselves up to get back in the position that they're currently in. But Tegan Schneider has a lot of work to do. They stretched it out to about 0.8 of a second, make it now half a second now between your top 2.
Well, I think that's the most impressive thing about it all is that Tegan Schneider and Logan Stockdale, they nearly went off the edge of the racetrack, but they gave just enough room coming out of turn number 5, that back hairpin, when they were side by side. I think they both kind of checked up. Logan Upton maybe got into them a little bit, but they were all able to give enough space to kind of come back onto the racetrack together, not lose too much time. And now Schneider is making a last run at the race leader, Riley Davis. He picked off half a 10th that time. Logan Upton closing back up to Logan Stockdale. James Strapko is still back there, still lurking on in the 5th spot, 2 seconds away now, 2.1 to be exact, better than 2.5 from a few laps prior. Here's a look at 3rd. Logan Upton wants it. Logan Stockdale has it. Not going to happen in turn number 5.
He certainly tried to show the nose to see if he can make the pass, but realized he was not able to get to the inside to make that stick without issues or losing time. So he tucks back in line and tries to see if he can get a little bit closer.
Yeah, nothing there for Logan Upton. Logan Stockdale now gets back closer to Tegan Schneider with a little mistake through turn 3, though. That'll kind of open it back up. Schneider was making up ground. Now he's lost some ground to Riley Davis Davis's lead. Half a second to Tegan Schneider, and time is running out here. 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go in this 206 junior main. Riley Davis's lead as big as it's been, 7/10 as of the last time by the loop.
One thing to keep in mind is Riley Davis is closing in on some lap traffic. That's Isabel Timothy, who's coming up just up the road. I say they could catch her before the checkered flag falls.
Ooh, little contact there from Logan Upton to Logan Stockdale. You saw Stockdale's hand go up saying, hey, what was that for, man? Upton kind of let him back in line, was trying to just help him, ended up hitting him in an awkward part of the racetrack, awkward part of the corner, and it hurt Stockdale more than it benefited, and they gave up a 10th to Tegan Schneider, but he's definitely closing in. Tegan Schneider there, now only a car length up on Logan Stockdale, who, again, just sent it in deep through 3, so deep that the kart kind of bunny hopped in the center of the corner. 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go exactly here. We're getting to the end. Like you said, lap traffic could play a factor with Isabella Timothy only 3 seconds up the road from race leader Riley Davis. What does that do to the race win and the battle for the top spot?
He's got to try to find a way and find an area of the track that get around her in order to not lose as much time as they enter into the hairpin. Tegan Schneider is starting to still maintain it. He hasn't really made a whole lot of gains. He's actually fallen half a second since we last checked in, so he's got to be careful, and hopefully maybe Isabel Timothy could cause a little issues for Riley and get caught as we see Riley make a mistake. No, that was actually Isabella who made a mistake, goes wide, and now gives the way for your race leader.
And side by side behind them there, Logan Stockdale. Look at this, Schneider, Stockdale, Upton. They're all over each other. Nobody knows where to go. They're side by side now, and here comes Upton trying to take advantage. He'll use the lapper as a pick. Upton to the inside, Stockdale on the outside. Nearly wide for Stockdale. Logan Upton into third. Logan Stockdale back to fourth. Here comes James Strapko in the 5th spot, and it's given a huge lead to Riley Davis. 2.3 seconds here with 45 seconds and 2 laps to go. Davis, a big gap now as they fight for second here. Logan Upton, higher than he's been all weekend long.
We do have one kart out of the race. That's Jack Haydu, who lost to going into turn number 1, so a tough break for Jack as we keep an eye on this battle for second here as Tegan Schneider holds on to second place, but for how much longer? Because here comes Logan Upton with a big run out of turn 1.
Riley Davis, another lap by the line. Here's a look at second, third, fourth, and fifth through the turn 2 complex. Tegan Schneider, Logan Upton, Logan Stockdale, James Strapko. Upton's going to need to get aggressive here, or Stockdale might get something back on him in the turn 5 hairpin. Again, a little contact as Strapko kind of gets into the back of Stockdale, runs them wide as the accordion effect in full effect here for the field. They're going to get the 2 lap to go signal next time by. It's crunch time for these kids in 206 junior. Riley Davis well up the road, safe in the lead. It's going to be danger zone right now for second, third, fourth, and fifth. Who finishes where? Logan Stockdale with a good run, not close enough. No changes, I think, coming here in turn 5 this lap, but they see that 2 to go signal and everything kind of changes and a light bulb goes off that it's go time.
It certainly is. It's a now or never scenario for anyone, second, third, fourth, and fifth, because unless something happens to Riley Davis, this is it. This is a battle for the final 2 steps of the podium for your drivers as we watch Logan Stockdale try to build some momentum going the outside lane. Not able to make it work, but gets a good run out of turn 3.
Yeah, good run, not good enough. Nothing there in 5. White flag coming this time by. 1 to go for the leader. 1 to go for the fight for second. Tegan Schneider looks back, sees Logan Upton right there on the tail down the backstretch. There's your leader, Riley Davis. Big lead here for Riley, over 2 seconds back to second, third, fourth, and fifth. He's going to go on through. Still no changes further back. It'll be a run to the final hairpin for them. It'll be a run to the checkered flag for Riley Davis out of the final turn. Nothing happening back behind. Riley Davis wins in 206 junior here in the main event over Tegan Schneider, Logan Upton, Logan Stockdale ends in 4th, James Strapko in 5th, George Moss 6th, Isabella Timothy 7th, Haydu 8th, but Riley Davis, your 206 junior main event winner.
Great drive by Riley Davis to capitalize on mistakes and be able to pull away to win your 206 juniors.
Just like that, 2 done. Don't go anywhere here. We've got 206 seniors engines coming to life already on the grid. Group number 3 set to go green, our biggest one of the day at 14 drivers strong. So the kart's released onto the circuit for 206 Senior. And again, it's the biggest grid on the day. It was more of a domination really than anything else in the opening pre-final for our pole award winner, because the battle we focused on was really all the battle for second. Dylan White did a great job. He just kind of got away early and then drove away the rest of the race at 10 to 2/10 better than most of the field. Henry Wheeler and Hardbeer Doss battled for that second spot, and Wheeler got around him to take over the outside of the front row. It's then Jerry Frandry on the outside of row number 2 on the AEM Karting EOS card in 4th, with Peyton Polaric, Ben Smith on row 3. Glenn Hobbs and Keegan Whitmire, row 4, have one driver pulling into the scales. That is the 930, and the 930 something it looked like. It was a 913. Oh, we'll ID who we just lost there in a moment. We're down 1. We're looking for the green. Green flag down to turn number 1. Dylan White, the leader. Henry Wheeler on the outside, trying to hang tough on Hardbeer Doss. Side by side for second. Locks up. Doss still on the outside. He'll run him into the dirt a little bit. Wheeler gets to second. Fandry's on the outside now for third. He's got to send it pretty deep there, and Peyton Polaric, I think, is going to get through. Polaric to 4th. Fandry Jr. to 5th. They're side by side for 6th here going to turn number 1.
Oh, that's going to be a little bit tight. One kart almost. That's the 927 who goes a little bit too wide, almost into the grass. That's Ben Smith, who is able to drop back a little bit further in the field. But tough break for him as we pick up the rest of the field coming out of the hairpin. And it is Dylan White picking up where he left off from the pre-finals as one kart slows out of the hairpin.
Yeah, we had a lot of spins in that pre-final, of course. Matt Darlison was involved in it. Cody Lindstrom was involved. Taran Dalma Jeruvu was involved as well. So they're all trying to work their way up here. Darlison to 10th at the end of lap 2. Whitmire to 9th. Lindstrom is 12th. Here is the lead, though. Henry Wheeler's looking racy to start this one. Dylan White on that Comet Eagle has company. Much different than the pre-final. Henry Wheeler on that Charles Leclerc card in that BRLR suit, already having a win earlier, is now looking for a win in the main events, and it could come in 206 Senior after Dylan White dominated the pre-final. Henry Wheeler was the driver on the move, so we never got to see them go head-to-head. This one could get really exciting, and we've got a long race to go. And again, Hardbeer Doss looming in the background there on that 949 Rocket Tech Motorsports Kart Republic in 3rd.
He is trying to do everything he can. Henry Wheeler just waiting for that time to find the opening he needs in order to try to get back in front of the field of Dylan White as they come out of turn number 1 down the long straightaway. You see them trying to find his opening, but not close enough to make anything. Meanwhile, Javier Doss sits very comfortably in 3rd, trying to close the gap, but is in pretty much in no man's land by himself.
Yeah, Hardbeer Doss, unfortunately, was about a 10th off the top 2. Wheeler and White were 1/1000th apart on the lap time, so Hardbeer Doss is going to need some more speed. Wheeler looking for the lead in turn 1. They're going to go side by side as Dylan White will not concede. Unlike most of the passes we've seen there earlier, Dylan White saying, no, you're going to have to do a better job to get around me. Let's try turn 3. This time clear and through for Henry Wheeler. So Henry Wheeler now hot off what's been a great summer stretch for him back home at Thompson Kart Raceway. He leads a 3-car pack to Dylan White and Hardbeer Doss at the end of lap 6.
Beautiful drive right there by Henry Wheeler as he now sees if he can stretch out that race lead, which he has by about 2 kart lengths over Dylan White as they come out of turn number 2. Javier Doss starting to close the gap as well with those two battling for the lead.
Yeah, thanks to the battle, Hardbeer Doss not only closed up, but he also had his best time of the session now. Unfortunately, Henry Wheeler, I think, might be a little bit quicker right now than both of them. Let's see the lap times when they come by the stripe. Wheeler will clock in at a 26.85, White a 27 flat, Doss a 26.9. So a 2/10 gain for Henry Wheeler over the former race leader, a 1/10 gain over the man in 3rd. It is opening up there for 1, 2, and 3. Meanwhile, we've had a change back for 4th as well. How about Jerry Fandry Jr.? He's gotten around his teammate in Peyton Polaric. So Jerry Fandry Jr., P4 on that blue AEM Karting EOS kart's gone to 4th. Peyton Polaric has fallen back to 5th. Glenn Hobbs, Carson Smith with a good run there into 7th. Matt Darlison, though, gets by him, and he brings Ben Smith on by. So Matthew Darlison's charge forward up to position number 7. We'll keep tabs on Matt because I think he's going to get to Glenn Hobbs here in a lap or 2. That's for position number 6. So you got your top 3, Henry Wheeler inching away from the field. Dylan White, Hardbeer Doss 2nd and 3rd. Fandry Jr. 4th, Polaric 5th, and 6th. About to come under fire. Matt Darlison on the way forward there for position number 6.
Yeah, Matt Darlison is starting to close that gap very quickly to get up to Glenn Hobbs, but it's still a little bit of work to do. A lot of racing left for them as they work their way out of the hairpin.
Yeah, Glenn Hobbs is also catching up to 5th place in Peyton Polaric. So you've got your top 3. You've got Jerry Fandry there in the 4th position. And then you've got Peyton Polaric, Matt Darlison, Ben Smith all getting ready to duel. Wheeler through turn number 1, through 2, through 3. And here it is, the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. There is, I believe, Glenn Hobbs in the front of it. Polaric has fallen all the way back to 7th, so Peyton Polaric back to position number 7. Or maybe Ben Smith. Might have Ben Smith and Matt Darlison going by. We'll get an idea on the numbers here. That's the 85. That was indeed Hobbs. So Hobbs quickly to 5th, but here comes Matt Darlison on that VLR. He's working his way by. We'll try to go by in turn number 1, 2, into 2 and clear. Matt Darlison's cracked the top 5. Hobbs back on the inside. Side by side, they'll drag race coming out. It'll bring Polaric back close to him again. But Matthew Darlison from the back of the field up to position number 5 and counting.
How about that almost attempt of a crossover move right there between the two of them, but Glenn Hobbs still going to try and battle it back out. But for Darlison, he's going to start pulling away to move up to 4th place and hunting down Jerry Fandry Jr.
Yeah, through turn number 2 for Matthew Darlison, over through 3. Again, back to the 985 of Glenn Hobbs. Peyton Polaric still there in the 7th position now. Ben Smith is there on that Tony Kart. He's been putting some good laps together, so Polaric will come even under more pressure. Here's a group further back behind them. That's Carson Smith, Keegan Whitmire, Cody Lindstrom, Everett Hunter, and then Aiden Chappell is at the end of the train in 13th here, but this is even further away. This is Polaric still over Ben Smith right now. Smith on the bumper back to turn number 5, looking inside. Polaric, Smith, side by side coming out of that hairpin. Ben Smith, I think, not going to get it done. He might have been able to get it onto him there going through the final few corners. And indeed he did. Ben Smith through on Peyton Polaric. So Polaric drops all the way down to 8th now. While up the road, his teammate Jerry Fandry Jr. still safe and sound in 4th. And in 2nd and 3rd, Dylan White, Harbier Doss. They're about a half second apart while Henry Wheeler has pulled away. Here's Fandry there in that 4th position.
Yeah, Jerry Fandry just pretty much in no man's land, not really making any ground on your top 3, but not losing any time, though, to Matthew Darlison, who is starting to close, but still about 2 seconds separate those two.
Yeah, Matthew Darlison on the 963 VLR, 8 seconds away from the leaders. He was only 1/10 better than this man on your screen, Jerry Fandry Jr. there in the 977, unfortunately. So it's not enough really to make up enough time. Even a 10th a lap, with another 10 laps, he'd only gain a second. He needs about 2 to 3. So Fandry Jr. that time, 27 flat, 6 seconds away, 1.8 up on Darlison, who went 2/10 better. That's a better time. Here's a look at 2nd and 3rd. Harbier Doss faded away a little bit from Dylan White, but he's kind of reeled him back in. He was a couple hundredths better last time by. Unfortunately for both of them, Henry Wheeler is long gone up the road, but 2nd and 3rd might have a good little battle here before this day is done. Harbier Doss, that time by, lost a tick, but he gained more the lap before, so a net gain still over the last 2 laps for Harbier Doss.
Yeah, really good opportunity for Javier Doss in order to try and get that 2nd spot away. He was already off a big pre-final win earlier today, looking to try to see if he can pick up a couple of more checkered flags.
Down the front stretch we go with 4 minutes plus 2 laps to go. This would be, again, the fight for 2nd and 3rd. Lap traffic is looming. That is the driver in 13th of Aiden Chappell, I believe, who's gone 1 down. And Everett Hunter would be the next one, but he should be safe enough out front. It's Chappell that'll be the one up the road here. Henry Wheeler, actually, no, he's getting around Chappell at the moment. So Wheeler having to get creative to get by. He does. And that's what backed Wheeler up a little bit. So it was Aiden Chappell going 1 lap down. And now 2nd and 3rd. Harbier Doss, Jerry, and Dylan White will be the next ones to get to him. White's going to be the first of the 2. And he's going to catch him in an awkward spot. But the lap driver will give way. So he won't lose too much time. In fact, they'll have a net gain on Henry Wheeler. And the gap stays about the same for Harbier Doss to Dylan White at about 0.3 of a second, give or take. make it maybe 4 at the end of that lap.
Yeah, Javier is really trying to push the envelope. Last time by, he was a little bit faster than Dylan White. Not by much, but just enough to be there in case Dylan White makes a mistake or another lap car comes by to utilize the pick.
Yeah, coming out of the back hairpin, the outer loop there that time for Dylan White on that black, blue, and red Comet Eagle entry here. He, again, led all the laps in that pre-final. Now, that time, I'll give Dylan White some credit. He did pick up a little bit. Maybe a late race charge in the works towards Henry Wheeler. Wheeler was quicker out of the gate here. He's got the best lap time overall, but that was a slow lap from Henry. A 26.97 to a 26.80 from Dylan White. If Henry Wheeler is really fading in terms of speed, this could give a big window of opportunity for Dylan White and Harbier Doss. Another 10th lopped off the gap as of last time by.
This is going to be critical down to the wire. 2 minutes plus 2 laps. They are closing in on your race leader just under a second last time by as they make the run towards the outer loop. There you see on your screen just how close your top two are separated. And Javier Doss as they start to close the gap coming to across the line.
Yeah, across the line there, 23 laps completed. Another 10th picked up for Dylan White. This gap is coming down here for first and second. Henry Wheeler got away to a near 1.5 second lead at one point in this main event. That has been cut in half to 8.5 tenths. Now again, it'll be a Hail Mary if they can get there in time. We're looking at 6 laps remaining at the most. It's a minute and 15 seconds plus 2 laps to go. He also can't afford Harbier Doss to challenge him for second at all. Harbier's got to push Dylan White forward to get to Henry Wheeler. It's just under 8 tenths now. That was a half-tenth gain. Not enough to make room. And again, that was not a good turn 3 for Dylan White. He was a little bit tight, it looked like. Had to put a lot of wheel input. Here comes Doss. He wants second. White's going to have to give way if they want to make any shot at catching the leader. And he will not. And that'll put Doss on the outside. Doss will get second. But Dylan White and Harbier Doss battling right there. That might have just handed the win to Henry Wheeler.
I believe that did indeed for Henry Wheeler, as now we see Dylan White try to go back on the offensive to get around Javier Doss. Once again, not going to work this time, but Doss now has to white line it as here comes the driver of Dylan White to the inside, side by side out of the outer loop.
Dylan White back to second over Harbier Doss. Now, Doss giving it to him a lot easier than White did to him just a lap ago. So they've traded second again. Now we're down to the final few seconds. We should get the double sticks. 2 to go. I believe this time by on the timer. It's going to be right on the limit. So Henry Wheeler, 2 laps to go. 2 to go for this fight for second of Dylan White and Harbier Doss. They'll come out of turn number 5 and to the signal that'll let them know if they weren't already giving it everything they had. Now is the time. Across the line, Wheeler's lead, 1.1 seconds. Doss back to third again. Second still for Dylan White through turn number 2.
Does Dylan White have anything to hold on to the second place over Harbier Doss, or can Henry Wheeler be able to maintain the consistency to stay in front of the field as they head down into the outer loop? One more time around coming up. White flag in the air.
1 lap to go. One more time around Thompson Kart Raceway. Henry Wheeler can put it on cruise control. That gap is safe. It'll be a Hail Mary from Harbier Doss if he can pull it off through turns 2 and 3. He's got to get a good launch out of here. The leader out of 3. Doss gets a decent launch. It's not going to be enough, though, out of turn number 5. Henry Wheeler has been the man to beat here this afternoon. He's got one more main to go for main event number 1. He's got it. Henry Wheeler wins in 206 Senior. Dylan White second, Harbier Doss third, Jerry Fandry Jr. fourth at the line. Matt Darlison had gotten around Fandry, and Matt Darlison to fourth there. We were focused up front. It was Matthew Darlison from last to fourth. An impressive drive and a lot of confidence going to tomorrow. We'll see Matt Darlison, I think, up in the mix of the leaders. Fandry Jr. fifth, Ben Smith sixth, Glenn Hobbs, Carson Smith, Cody Lindstrom, Keegan Whitmire, your top 10. Time to get ready for Tillotson Senior racing action here. Chase Buscalia and Ian Quinn, well, they're going to go one more lap, I think, around before we really get this one going. So we'll give them the opportunity to kind of form back up again, and that'll also let Aaron Melberg catch back up. So one extra outlap for your Tillotson Seniors where they go at it. This was the most fun pre-final we've had for those that are getting ready to tune in here again. This is Tillotson Senior driver in Ian Quinn, set up in the senior configuration, but entered as a or set up as a junior here in Chase Buscalia, but they were evenly matched in the pre-final. Here comes Aaron Melberg there in the fellow Tillotson Senior entry, and we're racing down to turn number 1. Buscalia tried to jump him through turn number 2 and all the way over to 3. He's going to have the inside. Quinn trying to run the outside. Buscalia runs him out to the edge, and Chase Buscalia will lead them to the back outer loop for the first time.
I thought for a minute there they were going to just start going slow around there, go 2 by 2 that entire lap, but they are decided not to. But for Buscalia and Quinn, they're going to start battling and bring us some entertainment off into 1. Here they go side by side down the backstretch.
Yeah, Buscalia closed off the inside. Ian Quinn now crossed him over, gets through. Quinn to the lead through turn number 2. Buscalia goes right back down the inside in 3. Quinn pulls alongside, crossover, still side by side down the back straightaway. Quinn will have the advantage. Can he send it around the outside? He can't. He goes for the crossover. It'll bring him again alongside, but he can't do anything there. And now Buscalia blocks low in turn number 1.
Here they come, though, but Quinn gets a good run. A little bit of a block right there. He's going to have to go around the outside and try to make it work as Quinn tries to set up a pass coming out of turn 2. Here they go down in the hairpin of turn 3. Quinn looks to the inside. He'll get right alongside him as they drag race.
Yeah, again, Chase Buscalia staying low, blocking everywhere, doing it a good job of making that kart as wide as this narrow racetrack allows him to. Quinn, though, finds a hole in turn 1. Nicely done, Ian Quinn. He'll take back the lead, and he's giving some hand signals to each other. Again, all in good fun. These two in good spirits. They're having some fun with each other and created their own sign language here today. And now Ian Quinn holding the lead here with Buscalia back to second.
Uh-oh, we might have a black flag being shown here momentarily at the start line. We'll see what happens as they come around. Oh, a little bit of a warning given out to these two.
Yeah, that one, I don't know if that was fun or if that was a little too much, but I think with a smile at it at least. I know they've got a smile under the helmets here. Buscalia and Ian Quinn, they are just having too much fun here on the racetrack right now, and that's what's probably catching everybody's attention. Look at this, Buscalia all the way low, Quinn all the way high. Another crossover, another run coming out of the hairpin, and single file back through the dogleg.
Single file they will go, but here comes a big run by Ian Quinn. He'll look around to the outside. Buscalia holds the inside lane side by side. They'll stay tucked up as they come out of turn 2.
Buscalia ran him wide there. Ian Quinn tried to run the high side and just got run out of room. Now with a good crossover again, Buscalia just closes off that back hairpin. Quinn tries to cross over again. It's outside, keeps the outside run, gets clear into turn number 1, and Ian Quinn takes back the lead here. We've still got 9 more minutes of this, plus 2 laps. There were only just a few bits into this 28, 29, maybe 30 lap final. Ian Quinn versus Chase Buscalia putting on a show, having a blast here at Thompson, Ohio, and now Quinn goes low to block again.
I feel kind of bad for Aaron Melberg right now because he is just pretty much all by his lonesome, basically making it a test day for him out here as we watch the two of Ian Quinn and Chase Buscalia. As here they come out of turn 1. It's a nose to tail, a little bit of hand signals right there as they come over to turn 2.
Chase Buscalia back to the lead here again as Ian Quinn following along, now crossing him over, coming out of turn number 3, down the backstretch. Buscalia low, Quinn follows him, maybe gives him the bumper and moves him up the racetrack there in the back hairpin. So Ian Quinn moving Chase Buscalia off the inside, said, you're not just going to block this whole way, I'm going to find a new way to play with you and get around. And so Ian Quinn goes to the lead off a little bump and run in that back hairpin. Let's see if Buscalia is willing to give it back.
Here we go into turn 3. Could we see the return of the favor for Buscalia as they come out of turn 3? Nope, not close enough to make it work. As here they go down to the inside. Buscalia holds the line to the inside. Quinn tries to fight him, but it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, it will. What a move there, but Buscalia gets back to the inside in 1 and gets back clear again. Now Quinn crossover, driving, nearly banging tires down the front straightaway. Chase Buscaglia, crossover again. Ian Quinn still holding the lead. So much fun to watch these two go at it as they come out for 4. And now Buscaglia, nose low, looks low, turn 5. Oh, it's going to be tight there as they stay side by side on the exit.
You couldn't fit a piece of paper in between those two as how they were coming along.
Yeah, through turn number 1, Ian Quinn, Chase Buscaglia. Now Buscaglia looks low, past our camera over at turn number 1. Quinn still on the high side. Buscaglia runs to the edge. He can't keep him out there, though, all the way. He had to give him room, and now Quinn got bottled up coming out of 3.
A little bit of a bunny hop right there as they came out of turn 3, as they come out of the outer loop, heading their way through the circuit. And now is Buscaglia holding strong. Quinn trying to get back around as they approach lap traffic.
Yeah, they're nicely done. Aaron Melberg going to pull out of the way, and he'll let him go. And so Ian Quinn, Chase Buscaglia here on these Tillotson T4 chassis. Evenly matched, it looks like. Look at Quinn through the dirt. What a move! Ian Quinn, a slingshot move there around the outside. Ian Quinn back to the lead.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about our first, looks like almost a pass in the grass here moment in the Ohio Sprint Series. As they come down the back straightaway, will we see Buscaglia return the favor here as they come out of turn 2?
Yeah, let's see. Out of 2, over to 3. Buscaglia, deep contact there. A little hip check. Oh, and Quinn has to go wide. That hurts the run a little bit, and now Ian Quinn's got to run back up to Chase Buscaglia with some dirty tires.
Oh, let's see what these two decide to do now that they're trying to get themselves reworked out. 6 minutes plus 2 laps as they come out of turn number 1. It looks like Buscaglia holds the line just a little bit to make the run down to turn 2.
And so through turn number 2 for Chase Buscaglia. Now Ian Quinn, thankfully with Buscaglia defending, gets a little bit closer. And we're back side by side battling again here in the second half of the main event. Still only 6 minutes in, 6 minutes to go. This has been 13 laps of non-stop battling between Chase Buscaglia and Ian Quinn. It looks like a coaching session. But who's coaching who right now? Ian Quinn, the elder of the two of them, trying to find a way around Chase Buscaglia. Right now, unsuccessful over to turn 3.
This is what we love about kart racing, the excitement. Even though it's just 2 karts on the track here with that are putting a battle for the race lead, it is still a show to watch here as they work their way out of the outer loop, heading over to the final 2 corners. Quinn looking to try to get back around.
Buscaglia blocks low there in that final corner and then kind of just stayed high. Now center track down the front straightaway over to turn number 1 and 2. Ian Quinn on the high side. Again high through 3. Crossover this time. No, not enough momentum out of the turn 3 complex, so he'll stay back behind. Now sends it deep, way deep, around the outside. Buscaglia runs him to the edge there, and he couldn't fully get it done.
Oh, Ian Quinn's trying to find that opening he needs, but be prepared. He could pull something out very quickly. A little bit of a block down to the inside as they head over to turn 2.
Yeah, through turn number 2, Ian Quinn, Chase Buscaglia, 1 and 2. Now Buscaglia, again, that was perfect defending. Quinn didn't try anything crazy that time. Maybe he's going to ride for a minute. No, he'll open back up. He'll go right back to attack mode once again. Ian Quinn all over Buscaglia. Through final corner, single file. Not going to do anything there in turn number 1.
Every time we see Ian Quinn try to go to the bottom, Chase automatically goes down to the bottom to throw the block as quickly as possible to keep him behind as they come out of the hairpin. Big run for Ian Quinn.
Yeah, big run this time to the bumper. Buscaglia again feels that push and then knows that he's there, so he blocks it low. Quinn to the high side, just can't do anything. I think he's kind of waiting. Now he's going to send it there in turn 1, and he'll get back the lead after riding for a few laps. Buscaglia, though, crossover, looking low, turn 2. Quinn's going to stay high. Buscaglia clears himself and gets himself back into the lead over to 3. So only half a lap, Ian Quinn was able to get that lead. Buscaglia's led a little more of this one. Now Quinn low. Buscaglia was blocking. I think he might have given him room, but he's just dancing that line and chopping him a little bit too much there, even for having a lot of fun. I think they're both having a good blast still with 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Here goes Quinn again. Buscaglia low. Quinn to the high side. Turn 1. Turn 2. Nothing.
Nothing just quite yet, but hey, this is some great racing action. Quinn gets a little bit wide out of turn number 3, and it looks to the inside, crosses over. He may try something here at the outer loop. Side by side, Quinn retakes the lead.
That time, Buscaglia couldn't chop the nose or throw a block. Quinn was way too far alongside, so Ian Quinn gets the lead now with under 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go. looks back, kind of just sees he's got a car length he can ride for a minute. We'll see if Buscalia can get back up to him. Aaron Melberg pulling off to the wayside, giving way to the leaders. Nice and courteous there out of Aaron. Down the back here, Quinn goes low. Buscalia high again. Out of turn 5 over to 6. Look at Buscalia trying through the dog leg. Couldn't get the nose fully clear. That would be a new corner we've seen a pass in.
Well, they are showing us that you can make a pass anywhere around this circuit there, Zender.
Almost. Just not that one yet. Let's see. Turn 3. Buscalia deep on the brakes. Inside and clear. That was a nice diver from about a car length away on Ian Quinn. So Buscalia picks up the lead once again. Quinn back 2 car lengths. And we're just probably about maybe only 5 or 6 more laps we'll get of this. Would love to have it all day long, but it's got to come to an end at some point. 2-minute warning now, plus 2 laps to go for Chase Buscalia and Ian Quinn down the front straightaway.
And with that, Buscalia will retake the race lead, but Quinn's not done with him yet. He'll try to cross over and see if he can make it work. Not quite. He'll head down the short chute over towards the outer loop. A little bit of hand signals happening here, and here comes Quinn down to the inside. Side-by-side drag race for the final 2 corners.
Look at the outside move for Ian Quinn to get by around the outside. So maybe you can't pass on the inside in that corner. You can pass on the outside in that dog leg because you get the inside in turn number 1. So Quinn now leading into 3, and he'll go start to defend there. That's the first time we've seen him kind of cover the inside off in that hairpin in a little bit. Does he cover off in turn 5? Too late. Buscalia's got the nose already. Nothing he can do. He has to let him go. Buscalia gets through. Now a minute plus 2 laps to go. Barely any time left. They're running out as Quinn gets a run, goes high, big run, outside lane. Turn 2, not enough grip there to hang it on the outside.
No, he's not able to make it work this time, but he will try something again here. He tries to cross over to the inside, but it will have outside lane advantage for the moment as they make the run over to the outer loop. Buscalia holds on to the race lead once again as Quinn just looking, swerving his way to get around.
Trying to find a way past here. Ian Quinn outside, low side. Not able to do anything again. Looks high, looks low. Here goes Buscalia to steep it low there. Quinn kind of moves him up the racetrack a little bit in 2. This time by, it'll be just at the limit. It should be 2 to go next time for Ian Quinn and Chase Buscalia. So does the gamesmanship go out the window when the 2 to go signal happens? What do they want to do? They definitely don't want to lose to the other. Here with 3 laps to go now as Quinn goes high, then low. Not enough to get to the inside. Oh, it is. He's there, and he's going to be clear by turn 2.
Quinn gets the race lead once again as the clock strikes 0 here. We are now coming to 2 laps to go. Buscalia tries again to get to the inside out of turn 3. Not able to make it work. Quinn starts to stretch out by a kart length.
Yeah, Quinn gets that little bit of cushion here right at the time he needs it. Buscalia, hand in the air, coming out of the corner, saying, I'm all right. Turn 1, 2 to go. This is it. Quinn went a little wide. Here comes Buscalia down to the inside, side by side. And again, these guys, they're both going to be the respective winners in their divisions. Buscalia in junior, Quinn in senior. This is for fun. This is the overall that counts for nothing. There's no trophy. It is strictly bragging rights between Ian Quinn and Chase Buscalia. They're coming to the white flag. How hard do we go here? Even if Quinn wrecks here, he's got the senior win, so they could crash each other for all they care on the final lap. Big run down the backstretch. Buscalia low.
Here they go side by side in a 3. Both of them go a little bit wide. Buscalia holds on to the overall lead. Ian Quinn, though, starts trying to push the envelope just a little bit as he makes the run down to the outer loop for the final time.
Buscalia low to block. Quinn goes high. Crossover move. Not going to happen there. And it will be Chase Buscalia at the line. Oh, it's going to be tight. Who got it? Quinn. Quinn gets it by 34 thousandths there for the overall. I didn't think he had it in him. Ian Quinn gets it, and he's having way too much fun on the cool-down lap. Him and Chase Buscalia having all kinds of wonky driving postures. And what a fun end here for their afternoon, at least in Tillotson Senior and Junior. For Chase Buscalia, the winner in Junior. Ian Quinn, the winner in Senior. Aaron Melberg, second in Tillotson Senior. Having way too much fun at the go-kart track here at Thompson Kart Raceway. The grandstands were about as full for them as they were for that 206 Senior main event. Now we go to the 206 Masters as we get set. But what a fun battle for me and Quinn. And on screen there is series owner Chris McCrone going over. They're having a fake fight in the scale line here between he and Quinn and Chase Buscalia. And you're getting congrats there for all those guys. So Ian Quinn Chase Muscali. There was, I think Chris McGraw said, yeah, we're giving you a penalty over there. Just kidding. That was all fun and games. So cool stuff from them. Lots of fun. Lots more fun to come from the Ohio Sprint Series. .206 Masters on the racetrack here as we get set for another main event right at the halfway marker in the lineup. Again, 206 Masters, the Ohio Sprint Series, 4 down and 5 to go, beginning with this one. Group number 5 on the order, and a pretty, mellow pre-final, and it's hard because anything would look mellow following that Tillotson pre-final or that Tillotson main event, but maybe it'll be turned up a little more here in this main. Michael Davis had a few runs at Brandon Bell at the end of the pre-final. Couldn't fully get the job done now. He slots into third off the start as it's a great jump there for Eric Bond to get through into second, and they'll exit turn number 3, single file down the back straightaway.
Single file for the moment. Everyone trying to get themselves jockeying for position here as Michael Davis drops back to P3. Meanwhile, it's Eric Bond who will move up to P2 as they come across to complete lap number 1 on the board for Brandon Bell. He's going to start pulling away once again, picking up where he left off in the pre-finals.
Yeah, through turn number 2, Kent McCloskey, even better. McCloskey was the driver to go to second. He crossed the line there, started third. Is Bond back in the 4th position. Michael Davis is third. So it's Kent McCloskey and Brandon Bell in those blacked out machines. They're first and second as Davis tries the inside. Can't get through. Michael Davis wants second, unsuccessful at the end of turn number 5. 2 laps complete here as the timer begins. Now 11 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Headed through turn 2, Michael Davis goes back to work.
Even though this is a sprint race, still 12 minutes, you're looking at over 20 laps for these drivers. They are trying to make sure that they take care of this as we watch this battle for second. Here you see the 602 McCloskey trying to hold on, and there you see the 612 machine work his way up. That's Jim Johns.
Jim Johns closing in there in 5th, and again, Michael Davis, you saw the hand signal saying, my bad, didn't mean to knock you out of the way there for Kent McCloskey, kind of let him back in line. So that was a class act move from Michael Davis. Now let's see, this time, no, just kind of poked the nose there, but wasn't close enough in turn number 3. And he won't have enough of a run back to turn number 5, but who will have a run is Eric Bond. He'll get all the way to the bumper there by the end of that outer loop section. So 2 minutes in, 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Brandon Bell's lead already at a 2 1/4 back to Kent McCloskey.
Kent McCloskey needs a little bit of work to do in order to try to hunt down Brandon Bell still as they try to work together, and it's not going to work with Michael Davis, who is now looking to the inside. He wants to get back up to P2. He'll push McCloskey out of the way.
Yeah, getting through. Nicely done there for Michael Davis. He makes the move stick as Jim Johns looked low, couldn't get low and clear for fourth on Eric Bond, so he has to stay tucked back in. But now Michael Davis has taken, unfortunately, too many laps, it seems, to get around Kent McCloskey, and now sets his sights on Brandon Bell, who is 2 seconds up the road. Still with a lot of time left, a lot of laps left, but it'll need to be a really good run for Michael Davis to track down this kind of a margin. I mean, this is a big gap here on a racetrack that's hard to make up time because it is so short, because there aren't that many turns, and everyone can normally figure it out and get relatively close on speed. For example, that time by, Brandon Bell pulled away even a little bit further thanks to the pass. The pass only cost them 2/10, and they were in total 4/10 off.
Yeah, so they got to be careful with that, how much they start doing that. Otherwise, they are going to lose a lot of time to Brandon Bell as they work their way through. Battle for P4 happening as Eric Bond and Jim Johns are trying to work their way around. Johns try to look to the inside, not going to work this time around as they come out of turn number 1, down the backstretch over to 2.
Yeah, Jim Johns had a couple looks for the fourth position on Eric Bond, and none of them have really panned out for him. That time by, Michael Davis, a 27.9. It wasn't any bit better than Brandon Bell. It was another 2 to 3/10 loss. So Brandon Bell has found a lot of speed in the lunch break. Michael Davis hasn't, I would say, slowed up, but he hasn't been able to keep up with the progress of the 644. And he's got Kent McCloskey right on his bumper. Those two may end up pulling away and battle for second and third on their own, but I think the chances of the win already, unfortunately, about out the window, just a third of the way into this main event. Eric Bond and Jim Johns again run 4th and 5th. John Sabota is 6th. Jeff Liberator is in 7th on the 684.
Yeah, everyone's kind of spread off right at the moment, and I think everyone's in their own little separate battles except for 6th and 7th, and of course your race leader as they come around the start-finish line here, heading down the back straightaway. We see Michael Davis just trying to hold his line against Kent McCloskey as they work their way over into the hairpin.
Yeah, through turn 3 here for Michael Davis and Kent McCloskey, 2nd and 3rd down the backstretch. And I think they'll probably ride here for a little while, unless Kent McCloskey thinks he's a whole lot faster than Michael Davis, which, based on the lap times, they're pretty much even. I think you'll see him wait there. Now, that time they were even to Brandon Bell, so that's good news. They were also 3/10 better than Eric Bond and Jim Johns here on your screen, 4th and 5th. So they're pulling away for from 4th, 5th, and even 6th, and John Sabota, which is what they need to do. In fact, John Sabota last time by, really good lap out of the man in the 685 white, black, and blue machine. He was on pace with the leading group and was a little bit quicker than 4th and 5th. So you can see end of the screen there in 6th. That's John Sabota here. This was going by Jim Johns. 4th, 5th, and 6th kind of closing up and tightening up together while 2nd and 3rd get away.
Yeah, so this could be a very exciting battle for the tail end of the top 5 here before this is all said and done as they work their way over into the outer loop. There you see your 2nd and 3rd place drivers as they try to hunt down your race leader of Brandon Bell. Last time by, those two were both faster than your race leader. Not by much, but they are starting to make a little bit of headway into that lap.
Yeah, they were just a little bit quicker. I mean, they were only a 0.5 quicker. The gap has already opened up to 3 seconds. I think the closest battle you'll see right now is the one we're watching form together in 4th, 5th, and 6th. Michael Davis, Brandon Bell going by here. That's 2nd and 3rd. Still just working together and cruising at the moment. But behind him, oh no, here comes a look from McCloskey in turn 1. Fortunately, the camera didn't pan all the way there. Kent McCloskey up to 2nd, and Michael Davis back to 3rd. First change of position we've seen in quite some time for 2nd.
It certainly is here as they will now do battle heading over into the outer loop, and it's going to be McCloskey who will hold off Davis once again as they start to try and keep that 2nd and 3rd place away from the rest of the field as they come out of turn 1.
Yeah, you make a move like that, and then you want to wait a little bit there. If you're Michael Davis, you don't want to trigger the battle too early and let everybody else get back into it. One pass made, that costs you about 4/10 from what we're seeing on the lap chart. So give that up, tuck in line, and kind of, just ride behind the driver and see if you can maybe make another shot in a couple of laps once you've built back up what you've lost in the damage. And we're not thinking of moving forward. We're thinking just, again, of slipping further backward. They're 2 seconds out, nearly 2.5 out, though. I mean, they've got a nice and cushy gap back to fourth, fifth, and sixth. Eric Bond, Jim Johns, John Sabota. Jeff Liberatore is about 15 seconds away from the leaders of Brandon Bell and Kent McCloskey. They might get to him at about a second a lap, but he's pushing it towards the end of this. So you may see one potential lap traffic here in this 206 Masters main. 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. There was your leader. Here's second and third coming down to turn 2.
Heading down into turn 2, you see there Michael Davis trying to find his way back around Kent McCloskey, not able to make it work out of the hairpin. They'll stay tucked up nose to tail, heading down towards the outer loop. No pressure from either one of them, and now is just trying to log some laps, see if they can pull away from 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, through the dog leg over to turn number 1. Kent McCloskey, Michael Davis, car length apart, down the backstretch to turn 2. And still no change there for second and third. Now this time, here it is. Michael Davis trying turn 3, but McCloskey holds the outside, contends the pass, and Michael Davis cut him a big break there. He let him have the end of the corner, tucked back in line to third. Yeah,
great racecraft and great heads-up driving between the two of them in order to not cause any more issues. They're already losing a ton of time, so they just realize this is just a battle for second at the moment.
Well, they just lost a lot more. At least Michael Davis did. He just dropped a tire coming out of turn number 1. Michael Davis now 5 car lengths back. He'll have to really go to work to hunt down Kent McCloskey.
He certainly is, and it's going to be a long way, but not a lot of time left on the clock. 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go as they work their way around the circuit. And Brandon Bell comes around the circuit, and he is setting some blistering lap times.
Yeah, Brandon Bell, the 644, is 4 seconds out from the from second and third on your screen here. And last time by, a 27.70 for him, a 28.5 for Jeff Liberatore. It's an 18-second gap. So at this rate, again, you're looking, right around 9 laps left. It'd be on the border, just on the border, whether or not they get to him here by the checkered flag or not, to put him 1 lap down. Brandon Bell's courteous. He may just wait and let him finish the race there, but we'll see. 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go here in this one as they go through turn 3.
As we watch Kent McCloskey continue to hold on to that second place, Michael Davis trying to find his way back to his bumper as they work out of the outer loop. No changes. Everyone's kind of now single file. In fact, that battle for P4, Bond, Johns, and Savoda are definitely starting to separate themselves a little bit further and further apart as this race goes on.
Yeah, they are just slowly spreading away. Eric Bond, 6/10 on Jim Johns there from 4th to 5th. Johns about another second and 2/10 back to John Sabota. So, yeah, indeed, Taylor, they are spreading apart there for 4th, 5th, and 6th. And for your update on second and third, is Michael Davis making up any ground? Well, he's trying. A 27.2 that time by. That was his new best lap of the session. So Michael Davis now down to 4/10 back from Kent McCloskey. They both made up some ground on Brandon Bell. Too little too late for that deal, but at least they are closing back together. This is 4th and 5th on your screen. Eric Bond, Jim Johns, then John Sabota. On the left, second and third are really close now. Michael Davis, Kent McCloskey, only a car length apart there for position number 2 with 1.5 minutes to go. Now just about a minute to go plus 2 laps. Michael Davis has caught all the way back up from that mistake earlier to the rear bumper of Kent McCloskey for P2.
Davis is 2/10 faster than McCloskey. In fact, he set the fastest lap of the race so far as they head over to the outer loop. You see him trying to look around, but not close enough to make anything work. Lost a ton of time coming out of the outer loop.
Yeah, didn't get a good exit there from turn number 5 that time, unfortunately. They're staring at about 4 to 5 laps to go right now. Again, Brandon Bell does have Jeff Liberatore in the distance as a potential lapped car. That might play a factor for him. It will not play a factor at this rate for second and third. 2 car lengths between them. Let's see if Davis gets a better exit this time out of turn 5 with 30 seconds plus 2 laps to go. On through, final turn 1. Next time by should be the 2 to go signal. It'll be right on the money. Maybe they'll get 1 more lap on in. We'll wait to see it. It looks like they'll be a couple seconds safe. So through turn number 4, Brandon Bell coming to the line. We'll see just in time before the timer hits 0. 3 to go. So 3 more laps, which is good news for Michael Davis. He'll pull to within 2 car lengths a second.
He's trying everything. He gets a lot better run out of turn number 1 compared to Kent McCloskey, but McCloskey seems to be a lot more smoother and consistent here as they come out. Here as we speak of that, Davis to the inside, tries to make it stick. They'll go side by side, now single file out of turn 3.
Yeah, single file down the backstretch here for Kent McCloskey. Back to Michael Davis, 2 car lengths over to turn number 6, and then through the dogleg onto the front stretch. 2 to go now. That little attempt, it hurt him a lot as he backed out of it. It was just a premature pass, really. He needed to be a little bit closer or in a little different of a turn, and then it might have stuck. But by having to get on the brakes and then lose all that momentum coming out of the corner, Michael Davis now rides 3 car lengths back from Kent McCloskey. And the white flag will wave this time by. That means less than 30 seconds to go here in the main event. This is it. Final chance. What do you got as Brandon Bell leads to 1?
Bell will continue on his way in dominant fashion. He may also be putting the driver of Jeff Liberatore a lap down, but he may just cruise to victory as he comes toward the back half for the final time.
Yeah, he's going to let Liberatore finish his race out, and Brandon Bell on the blacked out 644 Comet Eagle is going to win the main event in 206 Masters across the line. Kent McCloskey will hang on over Michael Davis at the stripe. That one was close back for second, but it was all about Brandon Bell. He'll top the podium here. Eric Bond, Jim Johns, 4th and 5th. John Sabota and Jeff Liberatore will have a long way around as he was at the tail end of the lead lap. And the 684 should be able to bring it across the line and complete all 29 laps of this main, and he does. So that does it. Brandon Bell, your winner. That's 5 events complete. We've still got 4 more to go here. Don't go anywhere. Again, we've got the 125 Rotax and Tag Senior combo class, then your mini Swift division, then KA Junior and KA Senior. Coming to the green in Rotax Senior, Rotax Junior, and 125 Senior, and I believe, again, in full senior spec for everyone, including Chase Buscalia, who's entered as a junior, but he'll set up in senior spec to play with Ian Quinn and Henry Wheeler. So we've got a full grid of 5. Lauren Getz there in the 125 tag. Kellum Colquitt on the Rotax Senior through turn number 2. Wheeler and Quinn were close together in the pre-final. Now Buscalia through to the inside to take over 3rd overall, and Chase Buscalia starts to make some headway towards Ian Quinn and company. But 2 drivers just put on a great show there in the Tillotson class. Now get to go at it here in a little bit faster Rotax 125 max power plants as they head down the back straightaway and towards turn number 2, chasing Henry Wheeler. 1 lap at full speed completed.
Here they come out of turn number 2. Henry Wheeler really trying to hold his line, but watch out for Ian Quinn. He is a man on a mission, looking to try to see if he can pick up another win here this afternoon as they work their way out of the outer loop and make the run towards the final few corners here across the line. The gap is just about half a second.
Oh, problems for Kellum Colquitt on the CRG. Kellum pulling to a slow halt. That is coming out of turn number 3. And right in front of the leaders who will have to quickly go by as Kellum gets the go-kart off the racetrack. Kellum Colquitt. Unfortunately, a day that's just not seeing Kellum get a whole lot of laps. It's going to end that way as well here in the main event. 1 lap at best, and then it's done for the 316. Unfortunate for Kellum Colquitt there.
It certainly is, hopefully. And another one, too, down as well. The 388 of Lauren Goetz as well, out of the race.
Yeah, Lauren Goetz out, so we're down to just the 3 Rotax Senior power plants. Chase Buscalia, Ian Quinn, and Henry Wheeler. So let's see him through the dog leg here. Henry Wheeler, 2 cars up. Ian Quinn, little mistake, turned into a big mistake there in the end of the rhythm section coming on the front stretch. He loses some time, and Wheeler now pulls a little bit further ahead. So 2 minutes down, 10 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Henry Wheeler trying to go 2 for 2 on the day here with a win in 206 Senior and a win in Rotax Max Senior, and he's looking really strong to try and pull it off.
Ian Quinn also is trying to look his way through, as we just got a word on what happened to the 388 of Lauren Coates. Had a chain malfunction, while the 316, flat tire for Kellum.
Yeah, flat time for Kellum Colquitt there on the CRG, so that early ending to both. We've seen plenty of chain failures for Lauren Goetz there with where she went off. A lot of drivers dropping a wheel off the edge of the racetrack right here at the exit of turn number 1 or hitting that curb on the inside, and it'll snap that chain or at least pop it off the sprocket off the right rear of the car. So that extra bit of airtime has taken more than a few victims here, more than just Lauren Goetz, unfortunately, but it's taken her out here in this one. And Henry Wheeler, Ian Quinn, Quinn slowing. Ian Quinn slowing out of the hairpin. And I think it's a power plant problem for Ian Quinn. That motor has come to a halt, and Ian Quinn now will pull into the scale line. And the hero who put on such a good performance in that Tillotson main event is done, and he comes to a slow halt going into the weigh scales.
And with that, Henry Wheeler will continue on his way. Chase Buscalia will move up to P2. Unfortunately, we now only are down to 2 karts left on the track.
Yeah, that's it, and they're a good ways apart there. Chase Buscalia not far off of Henry Wheeler's pace, but Henry Wheeler untouched right now here in Rotax Senior Max. He'll treat it like a test session, and a big lead for Henry Wheeler that continues to roll through the field.
And we have problems. Looks like another driver has pulled off the course, and it looks like to be Chase Buscalia has pulling off the course here. So we are now down to our final driver of Henry Wheeler, which this race has turned into an endurance race. So we are going to be giving him the 2 to go signal this time by for Henry Wheeler, as he has survived this race in the Rotax Junior, Rotax Senior, and Tag Senior category. He'll work his way around the circuit. 2 to go for Henry Wheeler as he comes down the back straightaway once again. And he continues. He was able to survive all the chaos that was ensued here today. A lot of drivers breaking down, having issues as he works his way out of the outer loop, coming down the short chute here for the final time. One more time around for him as he continues to work his way around the circuit, and he will pick up his second win of the day, coming through the final.
All right, there it is. For tomorrow's racing action for us. Out of the outer loop for the final time in the Pro 1. Number 334, Henry Wheeler wins overall in your Rotax Senior category.
I give him these, and he's like, these aren't good enough.
Let's see.
now it is time for the Miami 60cc Mini Division to head onto the racetrack. 3 races still to go here this afternoon, live from Thompson Kart Raceway. And for the young guns before the K100 Junior and K100 Senior main events, we have the 60cc Mini main event here this afternoon. Let's go back to their pre-final earlier on today. Well, it was Cole Vetter who got away early and dominated the 60cc pre-final win. Logan McCloskey on the outside there already with a good day today in 206 Cadet. Now in Mini Swift trying to do the same. He was a little bit off in the pre-final. Nicholas Lessiter was 3rd. Anna McCrone 4th. Remy Boss was 5th. They all spread apart. It was a pretty easy-going pre-final. Hopefully everybody can make it through turn number 2 here in the final, and it looks like we will as we're side by side for a moment. For second, McCloskey will walk into line, and Cole Vetter leads him as around goes Remy Boss. Remy trying to force the limits a little bit, goes a little wide there in turn number 3. And it is all Cole Vetter leading the way through the dog leg and onto the front stretch.
Cole Vetter picking up where he left off as he will lead the field once again over into turn number 1. And he's worked his way through around the circuit, heading over into turn 2. And now we're going to see if Mikulski can try anything, but right here, he is not making up any time.
Yeah, as they head through turn number 4 down the backstretch, Cole Vetter already, like you said, not wasting any time, pulling away from McCloskey. Let's see the first laps here and how these kids can do on consistency over what's going to be a lengthy and grueling here main event. 12 minutes plus 2 laps. They're going to put probably 29 to 30 on the boards, running 27-second lap times here. McCloskey, again, that time, first lap at full speed at 27.6. Cole Vetter a 27.3. So 7/10 the difference between the two of them as they come over the hill, over through the dog leg and onto the front stretch. Look at this as well. Anna McCrone has gotten her way into 3rd, and she's got around Nicholas Lessiter. So Anna McCrone picking up a spot, moving herself up and onto the podium.
Great run right there by Anna. Learned a couple of things from the pre-finals, picked up a couple of pointers, maybe even made some adjustments to her kart, and now is trying to see if she can get into a top 3. But here comes Lessiter with a big run out of the hairpin now as they head to the outer loop.
Not able to get back by is Nicholas Lessiter, so Anna McCrone into 3rd. Nicholas Lessiter back to 4th as they come down the front straightaway. Logan McCloskey that time was a little better even than race leader Cole Vetter, so might be a little bit closer of a main event here in 60cc Mini than what we saw in their heat race. Right now it's 3rd and 4th on your screen. That's pretty tight and sturdy together. And while up front, about 4.5 seconds to Cole Vetter and McCloskey. Well, it's only 7/10 between the pair. That time by Vetter, a 10th better back than McCloskey. It opens up from 7.5 to 9/10, and they're already working through lap traffic. A Remy Boss who went around, so this might be where that 2-lap rule comes into play as around he goes over in turn number 3, and Remy stalled it. Luckily, everyone's going to get through without any problems. And no changes in position there, but that was right in a trouble spot there with leaders all around.
It was very troublesome right there for them as we now pick up that battle for P3, and it is a good one. Lessiter trying everything he can to get around Anna McCrone as they work their way down toward turn number 2. Great battle for the 3rd step.
Yeah, good little battle here for the 3rd step of the podium. Anna McCrone and Nicholas Lessiter. Anna getting around and now putting a good lap together. I mean, Anna McCrone, her best time, a little bit slower than Lessiter. Last time a little bit better. Let's see what the two of them do this time by. They've been not far apart in the weekend, but Anna's picked up some speed here in the final. And now that time, Lessiter a little bit better. Goes back up, although this time down the backstretch looked like the advantage went back in the way of Anna McCrone. So all 3rd and 4th here, little ways back from the leaders, while Cole Vetter and Logan McCloskey continue to show the way. We're still just 3.5 minutes in, coming up on 7 minutes, or 8.5 minutes to go. There's your timer at the top left hand of your screen. So we're a 1/3 of the way in. 8 minutes plus 2 laps to go. Cole Vetter already 9 laps completed at a 27.2 pace that time was a bit off of where he'd been the lap before, so that was a bit of a mistake, but we're still looking at third and fourth on the screen here. Anna McCrone versus Nicholas Lessiter in that Charles Leclerc car. Here he comes. Almost enough of a run to go to the inside in turn 5, but he thought better of it.
He certainly did, but now he's trying to see what he can do and make sure he is working his way through, being a little bit patient. As they come down the back straightaway, Lessiter sees an opportunity, not able to make it work this time.
Yeah, almost able to get there. Again, he had that first look. That's really the first time he's taken a shot at trying to go back into third. McCrone didn't get the best exit that time by out of turn number 3, but she'll stay out in front of the duo as they go towards the dogleg and across the loop for another lap completed. That'll be 11 down, and they're catching up, I believe, to Remy Boss at an awkward point of the racetrack. McCrone had to get out of the power, and here comes Nicholas Lessiter, but now Remy on the inside, Anna on the outside. This is awkward for everyone to try and get through. Remy, no idea, and Nicholas Lessiter into third now.
Anna McCrone looked back at Remy like, what in the world were you doing right there? You just made me lose a position and lost time on Nicholas Lessiter. And she has a lot of work to do, 6.5 minutes plus 2 laps.
Yeah, and that gap just opened up majorly there. Look already at the gap from Lessiter back to McCrone, so glad we were able to catch that little bit on action on camera. Meanwhile, for the lead, Cole Vetter over Logan McCloskey. Well, it's still increasing lap by lap at times, and other times it's kind of evening out. Cole Vetter, 1.7 seconds the margin now, back to Logan McCloskey. That time by McCloskey wasn't far off. If he can get some consistency together for tomorrow, Logan McCloskey could easily contend with Cole Vetter. He's gotten better and better every single session, and the race leader headed through the dogleg, you can see is only a little bit ahead. Lap time wise, they are dead even at this point in the race when McCloskey is on. When he's off a little bit, like last lap with a mistake, 26.75, gives up 0.3. When he's back on par, hitting his marks, no mistakes, he's dead even. He's at the limit and able to run the same laps as Cole, just not a full 29-lap stint.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough run for Mikulski as he's trying to find his way up and make some time up. But as they come across the line this moment, a 26.54 to a 26.46, so he picked up a little time, but just not enough as they put Remy Boss 2 laps down.
Yeah, I mean, Remy Boss was going to really be the kind of oddball equalizer between the two of them. It really hurt, I think, Vetter the most. It hurt McCloskey a little as you saw McCloskey getting through coming out of turn number 3. So now it's going to be probably around a net neutral ending. 27.3 for Vetter, 27.2 for McCloskey, and still just second and 3/4 there between the two of them with right around 4.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
Remy Boss just got the flag for him to be off the course. After the course, the rules is if you go 2 laps down, you are asked to be removed off the track, so he will be taking it behind the wall.
So that'll do it for Remy Boss here. 13 laps able to get done in the main event. Just comes up a little bit shy, but as we're making some strides again today. Remy Boss started the day, I think, about 6 seconds off in qualifying. Ends the day only about 4 seconds off in the race, so that's an improvement. And again, for this kid on screen, Logan McCloskey, a consistent day, a lot of seat time, and he's getting better and better with each session. That time by even, he picked up 0.3 on race leader Cole Vetter. So Logan McCloskey, the speed's there, his ability is there to put a good lap together. He's just working on kind of setting markers down and putting multiple good laps together. That time by, another 10th gain for Logan McCloskey in the 102. And the gap is down to 1.4. I mean, at that rate, he could get there by the very end, but it's a long shot because he's been kind of hot and cold in the middle part of this race.
We'll see what he can do as they come out of the final couple of corners right here, if he's able to pick up a pace as we have a yellow flag. 1 car off. That's Anna McCrone off at turn number 1. She's trying to get herself back up onto the circuit. A tough break for her as she's stuck on the curb a little bit right there. They're trying to push her off. Now they got her off, and she will continue on her way.
Yeah, so Anna McCrone able to get back going. Here are the leaders headed down the backstretch. McCloskey down to 1.2. Digging, and again, he's motivated now. He can see he's catching Cole Vetter. This one isn't over. Logan McCloskey picks up the 0.3 that time by. We're down to less than a second for the top 2 with 3 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
Mikulski set the fastest lap of the race with a 26.197, and he is charging closer and closer. I wonder if just the long distance of this race with Cole Vetter when he just stretched out that race lead and put a lot of effort in it, could have possibly tired him out.
A little bit. I mean, tire pressure factors in too, but I think the biggest thing is Logan McCloskey's got the bit between his teeth right now. There's nothing more motivating as a driver than when you're chasing someone down and you're seeing yourself make visible progress and gains. Look how much better he is there through turn number 3. We're down to about 5 car lengths for the lead. At one point just a couple minutes ago, it looked like this was all done, and it was all going to be about Cole Vetter in the comp cart. And now it is Logan McCloskey 4 car lengths back for second, trying to challenge for the lead in the win, 4/10 away as of last time by.
Here they come down into the hairpin once again, and here comes Mikulski with a big run. He's trying to drop the hammer once again and pick up a little bit intent here and there, and he is showcasing that here. The bit between his teeth, he's ready to try and challenge for the win.
Yeah, closing in is Logan McCloskey. Half a second back. That time by was the first time he did not gain on Cole Vetter. Vetter picked up the pace. He slowed down just a tick. This time, big run, turn 2 through 3. Really good time there for Logan McCloskey in terms of making up ground on Cole Vetter. And they've got the potential lap traffic of Anna McCrone up the road that would put her 2 down. That could play a factor as well. She's not terribly slow compared to them, only about a second off. But with enough laps in and with how far back she is, that's a real possibility. So Cole Vetter now has a real challenge, some real pressure. He got a little bit sideways out of turn 3, and Logan McCloskey closing in. And again, that lap traffic of Anna McCrone up the road, that could play a factor here in this one in just a moment as well.
Here they come over to turn 1. Let's watch and see what happens as they head down the back straightaway. They'll go to the inside of her. They caught her at the right area of the track to where it doesn't hinder anyone's time.
Yeah, that was about as perfect as it could have been for both of them. Logan McCloskey, big run down the backstretch. He's almost there. He'll get right to the bumper of Cole Vetter here. And you've got a battle coming on for the lead in the final few laps of the Mini Swift main event here. Just what a great launch Vetter gets. Cole's weak spot there, he's really coming out of turn 5, but Vetter went wide in turn 1. Here he goes. Oh, almost able to get by was Logan McCloskey in turn number 2. And now 15 seconds plus 2 laps to go. He's low on time. It'll be not this time, but the next time by. So 3 laps to go at the start-finish line in a 2-way battle for the lead of the win in Mini Swift.
How about this for your mini drivers in the finals as they come across the line? They're going to come 2 to go next time by as they work down. As you see, Vetter stretched it out a little bit over Mikulski.
Yeah, whatever Logan McCloskey's doing in the back section, that's his only weak point at this point in the race. Coming out of turn number 5 and through 6 and to turn number 1, it's just not working out, and that's where he loses all the time. It's right here to the end of the lap, and I don't know what exactly so much is different from Cole Vetter to Logan McCloskey, but that is making all the difference. 2 to go, Cole Vetter the leader. The gap is 6/10, and he's withstood the pressure so far. He's just got to put 2 more good laps together, less than a minute left in the main event.
He works his way out of the hairpin once again, and Vetter stretches it out a little bit further now. It's about 5 to 6 kart lengths between him and Mikulski as they come out of the outer loop.
And across the line, white flag in the air one more time around for Cole Vetter. Comp car goes a little bit wide there with a big 4-wheel slide onto the front straightaway out of turn number 1. He'll hang on to it, does a good job to maintain control as they go through the infield. And now to the back sector for the final time today. Logan McCloskey's made this one interesting. He's made it a good storyline to talk about, but Cole Vetter will complete a perfect day, pole, pre-final, and the main event in Mini Swift.
What a drive by Cole Vetter, and there you see some of the friends in crowd cheering. Big fist pump there by Cole Vetter.
So Cole Vetter, your winner here on Saturday. Logan McCloskey second, Nicholas Lessiter third, Anna McCrone fourth, Remy Boss in fifth as they work their way around on the cool down lap. And we've now just got 2 more mains still to go. KA Junior, IAME 100cc Junior is on deck. IAME 100cc Senior is coming up next after. Miami 100cc Junior rounding the back hairpin to begin to form up for the main event here in this one. And Logan Strapko will start on the pole after an eventful pre-final that saw a bit of chaos there at the end of it all with Cash Felber and Roman Felber. They make the outside lane there in those white-out comp cars. Starting third, Lucas Drusella. And we're underway down to turn number 2, side by side. Roman Felber way wide in turn number 2, but he gets it down into line as Jack Haydu into 5th. And oh man, what a launch there for Cash Felber, and Roman's nearly into the tire wall.
Close call right there for Roman, and he's able to hang on and be able to move his way through in the 5th spot as they come across the line here, heading off into turn 1. Big slide by Roman as well as they come back down back straightaway.
Yeah, he went wide out of turn 1 again as well. So Roman Felber on the racetrack as much as he's off it in the opening lap. It's given James Strapko a big lead. Cash Felber second, Drusella third. Now Jack Haydu is 4th. Roman is back to 5th. Gabe Holland, he's back in the 6th spot. And again, another tire dropped wide by Roman Felber there in 5th coming out of turn 5. This time nearly wide there for Jack Haydu. He had to really get out of the power coming down the front stretch or through the front stretch into the back straightaway as he's chasing Lucas Drusella. But already James Strapko, a 2.5 lead to Cash Felber. My goodness, that's putting a really good jump out of the gate on the rest of the field.
That's putting a hurting on the competition right now. Let's see what the time is. Cash Felber, 2.3 seconds separates your top 2. So, James Strapko out for a Saturday afternoon practice today.
Yeah, Strapko leading the way there on the 877. Black helmet there in the green and white Tony Kart headed down the backstretch already. Again, a big gap, but as we learned from that Miami 60cc mini division main event, it's never over till it's over, and even these big gaps early on can be kind of tracked back down. How about this fight for third as well? You're talking Lucas Drusella, Jack Haydu, Roman Felber, 3rd, 4th, 5th. A little bit wide there for Drusella. Haydu's going to close up to about a car length away through turn number 3.
He's going to try to get a good run out of turn 3 and is all over the back bumper of Drusella as they head over towards the outer loop. Big run, but not able to make anything work. Just doesn't have enough space to make the pass.
Yeah, not enough there. Good run onto the front straightaway. Drusella a little bit wide. Half a car length back to Jack Haydu. Roman Felber still in the 5th spot. Little bit sideways there for Drusella. Again, he's just all over, hanging on to that Ricardo card in these opening couple laps. Jack Haydu trying to stay close, but a great launch there, I think, with a little bit more teeth on the rear sprocket for Lucas Drusella is allowing him to kind of get these good exits over the rest of the drivers around him because he rockets away like a car length or so.
He certainly is doing that as they work their way over into turn 2 and working over. You see Haydu trying to find that opening. He's got to be careful because here comes Roman Felber with a big run. He's going to push him to get over into the 3rd spot, but not able to do so.
Yeah, he gave him a shot as they came out at 3 and 4, and that kept him close. Still, I don't think was close enough to do anything into turn number 5, but keeping it interesting here as the field goes on to the front stretch. And Roman Felber, again, was a top 2 driver in that qualifying session into the early parts of the pre-final, so don't forget that, folks. While he's back in the 5th spot, he just needs to kind of find his way through this duo, and he'll be onto the podium once again. Here he comes. Big run, push in, Haydu. Oh, a little wide for Jack, but no change there through turn 5.
Jack being very defensive, keeping Roman Felber right behind him as they make the run down the back straightaway. Big run for Felber, but can't make it work. Meanwhile, Drusella all over the racetrack, can't seem to find the right footing for him. Leaves the door open for Haydu, and now Haydu crosses him over. He looks to the inside. Felber's trying to follow suit. Not going to work.
Yeah, Felber tried to, couldn't do anything. Now Haydu high side, low side, back high again, back low again, through 1. Now we're a third of the way in, 4 minutes down, 8 minutes plus 2 laps to go. In the background, Gabe Holland still watching along there in the 6th position here in 100cc Junior while these guys battle for 3rd. Haydu to the outside. He'll nose ahead for a moment, then lose ground. Roman Felber trying to push him forward. I think Jack, I don't know if that was, way wide for Drusella. Nearly ends up spinning it in front of the field. That rear end is sideways, and around goes Jack Haydu, and around goes Gabe Holland. Both of them around in turn number 1 out of 4th and 6th.
It looks like also a little bit of a warning from the officials to Roman Felbers as well. So could be some penalties coming into play here.
Yeah, Roman Felber getting a little bit, you can see how damaged that front nose cone is, but I think part of that might have been from the incident. So Felber gets a warning, a furled black flag, and now he tracks down Lucas Grusella from 5th to 4th, and now for Roman, he looks for 3rd. Here he comes, coming out of turn 3 and 4. Roman will get closer to Grusella, half a car length away through the hairpin. So Roman Felber onto the bumper of Lucas Grusella for that final podium spot. While Gabe Holan was able to get back going before Jack Hadey was. They both will be on the verge of going a lap down sooner rather than later because James Strapko is already 3 seconds back. So we're going to try and keep tabs on both. The looming potential lap traffic of James Strapko with Gabe Holan and Jack Hadey at the same time. Battle for 3rd, Roman Felber versus Lucas Grusella here at the halfway marker. 6 minutes in, 6 minutes plus 2 laps to go.
No changes up towards the front of the field either for the moment. Currently, Strapko has about an 8-second lead over Cash Felber as Felber loops it over in turn 1.
Cash Felber around in turn number 1. He was out a second. Our cameras will catch up to it here while his brother is going side by side with Lucas Grusella. He was able to get back going. There he is. So Cash Felber, P2, all of a sudden a lot further backwards.
This goes the old saying, this changes everything here, Xander, with these two drivers making mistakes. And of course for James Kropka, he is continuing to pull away once again as Cash Felber's falling into the clutches of his brother Roman and Lucas Grusella.
Yeah, Felber closes up here, so James Strapko in the number 877 inherits now a 17-second lead, biggest we've seen today. And for Lucas Grusella, still a little bit sideways. Roman Felber trying to find a way around, just can't time the run perfectly, but he does look to be maybe a tick quicker on that all white out comp cart. Now to the outside, going to the last turn. Grusella low through 1, still nothing he can do down the back straightaway. Grusella with enough power to kind of motor back away. And Cash Felber up the road, still about 4 seconds up from these two. He started to kind of put some good laps together again. That's put him back out of reach here. Roman Felber, biggest run he's had so far. What does he do? Just stays in line there, no change.
Grusella has a lot of top end when it comes to getting off corner exit, but can't quite seem to get the car to turn in like he wants in some of these lower speed corners.
Yeah, the front end grip not there. The rear end is just driving the front of the car, and it took him so far wide in turn 2, he loses the spot. Roman Felber to 3rd, Lucas Grusella to 4th. Roman Felber moves up into the podium. It's Cash Felber still 2nd, Roman P3. James Strapko is your leader, but Roman Felber, where the rear end continued to step out on him, it steps out enough in turn number 2 that he misses the corner and he falls back to 4th. Meanwhile, at the same time, Jack Hadey, Gabe Holan have both, I believe, gone 1 lap down. So James Strapko in the 877, I'll confirm that in a moment there on the Tony Kart machine. Let's see as everyone else crosses the line. Indeed, they've gone a lap down. The next driver in line is Grusella. James Strapko might lap all the way up to the podium at the speed that he's going right now.
He is blistering around the circuit, half a second faster than anyone else on the field here as he works his way out of turn 3. There you see up the road, Lucas Grusella about to be put a lap down.
Yeah, and then there's 3rd just out of frame as well. Jack Hadey, who's pulled it behind the wall, he's done into the scale line for the 817 black and red speed of Jack Hadey. So he'll be done at the end of this deal with Cash Felber, Roman Felber still 2nd and 3rd, Grusella 4th, Gabe Holan's only 1 down, on the verge of going 2 down. But for James Strapko, I mean, he's not showing any signs of slowing down. He's been very consistent, 25 flats, 25.1s, 24.9s. His best time's all within about 2/10. That's very impressive stuff when you don't have any rabbit to chase or any reason to go faster or to get pushed. He's just having his own markers out there and doing a good job. And now he'll close up to Grusella's, will lap up to 3rd. And he's just got to get a good run. He does, looking inside turn 5. And Grusella gives way to the leader. So now James Strapko has lapped up to third place.
And he is going to try to see if he can continue to do so. He's not that far off of Cash Felber or Roman Felber, so he might have enough time to catch up to Roman before the checkered flag falls.
It would be a very impressive feat here for James Strapko to win the pre-final and to come away and dominate this main event in the way that he has. Is off is the 899 of Lucas Grusella into the wall. Grusella off on the side of the front straightaway. And we knew that he was kind of struggling where the cart was getting sideways on him, and now he's out. So he was hopping over the fence there to get out of the way, but I think for Lucas Grusella, that might have been just a drop tire out of the final corner that popped the chain off and came to a halt halfway down the front stretch. So here's a look. There's the yellow flags given. James Strapko still chasing Roman Felber to put the third place driver one lap down. Gabe Holen will inherit fourth, even though he's a lap behind already. By staying on the racetrack and not giving up, that'll move him one spot higher in the results.
That's all you have to keep doing sometimes is just keep logging laps, and you can come out with a strong finish. And for Gabe Holen, he is continuing to do that as he is now inside the top 5.
1 minute plus 2 laps to go here. Final couple moments of this 100cc junior main event, and this one has kind of been the most strung out, and I don't know if I would have pegged it to be that. I guess outside of that Rotax Max Senior main event with everyone breaking down. The closest battle we've got is a battle to stay on the lead lap here at the end of this for the driver in third and the leader. James Strapko, Roman Felber. This battle between the two of them, this is to go one lap down or to not go one lap down. Roman's going to be very courteous, gives way, and now James Strapko has lapped up to second here in the 100cc junior main event as they come on by.
And with that, only 2 cars left on the lead lap. Cash Felber just came out of turn number 1, and now not too far behind either is James Strapko. Currently, he's quite a ways up the road. In fact, I'd say probably if it wasn't for us about to get the 2 to go signal next time, he could have possibly got up to Cash Felber and put him a lap down.
Yeah, might have been able to get there as well. So James Strapko in the 877 will come across the line this time. 2 to go given. 2 laps remaining. There goes Cash Felber on by in second. That shows you how far around your leader has lapped the field and continued to make progress. With a lap and a half to go for the 877. A perfect run through this main event. The biggest showing of domination that we have seen so far today. James Strapko headed for the white flag this time by.
4 seconds, white flag left to go here. One more time for James Strapko as he continues to just go around one more time in order to make it to the finish.
And so here he comes through turn 2, over to turn number 3. Towards the back section, turn 4, and the outer loop for the final time today. James Strapko laps up to second, dominates the field. It's a massive margin of victory, and it is victory. James Strapko, your winner in 100cc junior. Second will go to Cash Felber, third to Roman Felber, fourth Gabe Holen, fifth Lucas Grusella, sixth Jack Haydu, and finally, the last class of the day, IME 100cc Senior. They've been waiting a long time to get back on the racetrack after their pre-final wrapped up at noon nearly 4 hours ago. They're ready for battle here to close out round 1 of the Ohio Sprint Series. for the last main event of the afternoon. Miami 100cc Senior. One driver a little bit late, or two drivers a little bit late off the grid as Harbier Doss gets to bring the field around. We still got one. That's Lauren Goetz off on the grid. The 90-second timer will start, I believe. We'll see if Lauren is able to get out there in time to join the field. They're trying to see if it's something with the battery or maybe get that cart fired up. She is still waiting there in the top cart, the blue and yellow Cometic car, watching the field pace around, and I think we're going to send it one more time to give Lauren some more time. So Matt Darlison on the outside of the front row, Harbier Doss, who dominated the pre-final, on the inside. Cody Lindstrom and Chase Adams, Carson Smith. The remainder's on the racetrack. Here is the external starter down on the grid. Oh, we had the grid. We'll see if Lauren Goetz can get back onto the racetrack.
Tough break right there for Lauren. We'll see if she can try to get that cart fired up and rejoin the circuit. It looks like they might have been able to. Nope, still working on it.
Yeah, they're trying to fire up with an external starter now. They've given up on the battery on the car. They gave her a lap, and I think she might have fired up, and indeed, right out of the grid, she'll be able to join in. So we've got them all. We're ready for the final race of the afternoon. Harbier Doss, Matthew Darlison. Let's go racing, boys and girls, down to turn number 2. And they're side by side. Cody Lindstrom trying to get through for second. He will almost get through. Darlison locks the brakes up, and he gets knocked into the side by, I believe, maybe Chase Adams. So now it's Carson Smith side by side with Lauren Goetz. And we'll update as the field comes through, but Cody Lindstrom gets away, and Harbier Doss gets a big-time lead to start the main event in 100cc Senior. It's Doss, Lindstrom, Chase Adams, Lauren Goetz, then Smith, then Carson Smith, then Matthew Darlison back to 6th.
Javier Doss picking up where he left off earlier today in the pre-finals, checking out on the field. We're going to have to keep an eye on the battle from 4th on back for the most part. As Lauren Goetz holds on. Here comes the pass for position. Matthew Darlison to the inside of Carson Smith.
So for the second time today, Matthew Darlison is going to have to charge through a field. In the pre-final, it was in the main event, it was 206 Senior. He looked like he was going to be better off here in KA Senior. Not the case. So Matthew Darlison will be the driver to keep the spotlight on, while Harbier Doss and Cody Lindstrom lead the way. Chase Adams into 3rd. Lauren Goetz will be the next victim potentially for Matthew Darlison. And again, Lauren, 2 less laps of warming up the tires. She's probably still just now getting to the peak temperature, having to go straight out of the grid into the race start. Here comes Darlison.
Here he goes to the inside. Couldn't make it work as Lauren Goetz makes it stick and holds on to the position as they come out of turn 3. That Praga kart, though, of Matthew Darlison is really starting to put the pressure on. He'll look to the inside and complete the pass.
So Matt Darlison gets through. Lauren, getting a little bit caught out there in the grass going by. Here comes the field down by the start-finish line straight away. So now Matthew Darlison is up into 4th on the Praga.
Praga is really working his way through as Matthew Darlison continues to hunt down 3rd place driver Chase Adams. He's about 6 seconds off pace from your leader and really starting to close in now. Picks up even more time as he's trying to work his way through. 2 seconds behind the 3rd place driver of Chase Adams.
Yeah, a little ways back here. For Harbier Doss, though, what a good start again. A 24.7 last time by. That was 0.2 better than Cody Lindstrom. It's a 2.3 second gap for Doss back to Lindstrom. It's another 2.5 back to Chase Adams. So already Harbier Doss walking away with this. Here's a fight for 3rd. Look at this. Darlison up to Chase Adams. So we've got a good battle for the final spot on the podium. The top card of Chase Adams versus the Praga of Matthew Darlison.
That Praga machine really showing a lot of pace here as they come down towards the outer loop. Here comes Matthew Darlison on Chase Adams. Darlison can't find the opening he needs, but he is really putting the pressure on. Let's see what he does in turn 1. Not able to make it work.
Yeah, close enough though. Good battle. Looking now, turn 2 and clear. Nice and easy. Matt Darlison's back on the box. So Matthew Darlison to 3rd. The real question will be how fast is he? He's got a lap time as fast as Harbier Doss, faster than Cody Lindstrom. If he can put some good laps together, it's a long way forward, but he's got enough laps to do it to maybe hunt down Cody Lindstrom here for 2nd.
And be a tall order, but that Praga machine and the Kart Republics up ahead of him are putting on a stellar drive. Meanwhile, Chase Adam, one kart pulled off the circuit, I believe, just over here. Might have been Carson Smith.
Yeah, I think indeed. Carson Smith has retired, so drops us down to 5. Doss, the leader. Lindstrom second. Darlison third. Darlison picked up 2/10 on both of the leaders last time by. Now, that's not going to be enough to catch Harvey or Doss. It will be enough at that rate, just barely, to get to Cody Lindstrom. But he needs 2 to 3 tenths a lap to get to second. So there's Doss going on by. Wait and see. There's our leaders coming on through.
24-6 for your leader, probably your Doss. 24-7 for Darlison. So he's picking up the pace to close in on Lindstrom, but not enough, though, to chase down your race leader as he is trying to find ways to be a little faster. He seems to be, though, a little bit too much tire input and a little bit turning into the corner. He slides out of corner, especially out of the hairpin in turn 3.
Onto the front stretch for Harvey or Doss, down towards turn number 1. Here's Doss coming through the turn 2 complex there, so the gap opens up a little. Like you said, looking pretty good, mostly good overall. Little bits here and there, but Harvey Doss still second fastest. Only better than him is not Cody Lindstrom, but it's Matthew Darlison. There's Lindstrom on your screen on the green helmet, orange and white Kart Republic. A busy day for Cody and his dad. Running double duty just like Doss and just like Darlison as well. The entire top 3 in both, in at least 2 classes here, all in 206 Senior and KA Senior. For Harvey or Doss, 3.6 seconds back to Lindstrom now. It's opened up a little bit. Lindstrom slowed down. Matt Darlison picked up the pace in third. What a performance, 24.47. That was 4 tenths better than Cody Lindstrom that time by. It was 2 tenths better than the lead. He's cut the gap as it updates now. Now about maybe just 2.5 seconds away from Cody Lindstrom for second, while Harvey Doss continues to show the way. Halfway in and halfway home.
How about the battle for P4 between Chase Adams and Lauren Goetz? They're coming out of turn 3. Lauren all over the back bumper of Chase Adams, trying to put the pressure on him in order to move into the 4th spot.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see where Chase Adams has gotten around all the way up into 3rd, then fell back, and now has fallen back some more. So here's Cody Lindstrom. Let's see if we can send the cameras a little further back. We'll try to. With Matthew Darlison back 3rd, again running good laps with Chase Adams and Lauren Goetz having a good little battle. There's Darlison, there's Lindstrom coming through. Here's a look back at it. There's your battle 4th and 5th. Chase Adams, Lauren Goetz. Coming down the front straightaway for P4, P5. Lauren close enough. Almost looking now inside turn 2, and she'll get by.
Beautiful pass right there out of turn 2, and is able to hold on as they come out of the hairpin through the dog leg. They'll head over to the outer loop, and now Lauren will try to stretch that lead out for the 4th spot.
So now, with 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, I don't think you'll see much more from them. The only really question of a comeback drive will be if Chase Adams can close back up to Lauren. If he can go back faster, he's not farther off by much. We'll give Lauren a lot of credit here. Lauren Goetz is even in terms of fast lap times to Cody Lindstrom in 2nd. And up until last time by, wasn't far off the leader in Harvey or Doss. So she's put some good laps together here, and a couple really solid ones. If you can put a lot of them together tomorrow, things could be even higher, maybe some hardware in her future. Unfortunately, she's 6 seconds back from Matthew Darlison. Another 2 seconds to this guy and Cody Lindstrom there. So it's a long way forward for Lauren Goetz as we'll switch our focus back forward. Cody Lindstrom's on your screen here with just about 2.5 to 3.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. We're watching him because for a long time he was losing ground, not only the race leader, but the driver behind him there in third in Matthew Darlison. For Cody Lindstrom here, he's just, again, hanging on for that second spot. He doesn't have a shot at winning, but he's got to run fast enough to keep out of reach of Matt Darlison, who halfway spun right there in turn 3 on the opening lap of the race, has been digging himself out of that hole ever since, and he's been really tracking Lindstrom down. It was at 1.3 seconds, or 3 seconds and change between them. It's down to 1.4. So a good comeback drive for Matthew Darlison has now put him all the way back almost to where he started in second.
He is closing in quicker and quicker, and looking at the times now, he was 0.3 of a second last time faster than Cody Lindstrom as they come out of the dogleg over to the outer loop. And here comes Darlison with a big run down through the final couple of corners to the start-finish line. 2.5 minutes plus 2 laps left to go. And as they work their way across, Darlison just under a second behind.
Yeah, closing up there just a little bit away for Matthew Darlison. So we'll see as the field comes down the back straightaway. And now with just 2 minutes plus 2 laps to go, the gap at 1 second. That's going to put them on the verge of coming together at the 2 to go signal here. Again, we're staring down maybe 8-7 laps left. It's not a ton. It'll be just enough to maybe have a battle for second if Darlison's pace continues. That time, it evened out. Both of them clocking in at 24.7.
Both of them really showcasing a lot of talent, a lot of speed here today at Thompson as they work their way out of the final corner across the line. 1:40 plus 2 laps, and Darlison is trying everything he can to close the gap between himself and Cody Lindstrom. Lindstrom being very consistent, but still has to be careful for one small mistake, and he will lose that position in second.
Yeah, he's doing what he can, but he needs to do more. It wasn't enough that time. That was a 3/10 loss. What's this time? Another 2/10 there lopped off. Matt Darlison is down now to less than about 7/10, maybe 6/10 of a second from P2 to P3.
It is going to get exciting between your second and third place driver, the Praga machine of Darlison, the Kart Republic of Lindstrom, as they head out of the outer loop. And here they come down the short chute to the final stretch of the front stretch here. And we're going to see the time difference. It is even closer. About 3 kart lengths separate your second and third place driver.
Yeah, that was a marginal gain for Darlison, a couple of hundredths over Lindstrom, but it was a gain, it wasn't a loss, and it wasn't neutral. So that was good. He needs more. This time by, you can see the timer's ticking down. We've got 30 seconds plus 2 laps to go. So we are almost at that 2 to go signal. Darlison needs that last little bit of a push. That lap was good. 10.5 improvement for Matt Darlison.
Darlison is trying everything he can to try and find the opening. He is really trying to put the power down. He knows he does not have enough time left to try and find any way to get around for second. He's got to do it now.
He's got to get close here. When they get back to the line, it'll be 2 laps to go. They got in under the gun. That's good news for Darlison. Bad news for Cody Lindstrom. 3 car lengths between them for second and third. Harbier Doss up the road, 5.8 seconds out in front for the lead and the win. A dominant win in the works for Harbier Doss in the Rocket Tech Motorsports Kart Republic camp. But behind him, we're looking at this potential battle for second. Can Matt Darlison get there before it's over? 2 to go here at the line. He's 2 car lengths back as they head down the back straightaway.
Little look over the shoulder. Cody, you should be doing that. You got to stay focused on what's ahead. Hit your marks if you want this second position. Here comes Darlison as they work their way out of turn number 3. Big run up here up as they head over to the outer.
Down through 1 car length between them. Darlison, a half car back. Lindstrom still hanging on. Final turn. White flag in the air. It's bumper to bumper down the front straightaway. Here comes Matt Darlison for second. Turn 2. Lindstrom has to let him go. And Darlison's gotten all the way forward. Now he's going to defend into 3. They'll battle to turn number 5. Meanwhile, Harbier Doss on the final time will cross this checkered flag. He wins the main event here at 100cc Senior. Here's that fight for second at the stripe. Give it to Darlison. Matt Darlison hangs on over Cody Lindstrom. Lauren Goetz will end up in 4th. Chase Adams in 5th. But Harbier Doss, the main event winner here from Thompson Kart Raceway to close out Saturday for the Ohio Sprint Series. We're back tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. Eastern, with qualifying and pre-finals, main events at the same time. It's an identical schedule. We'll run it back again for round number 2. But for all of you here in the paddock today, for those of you tuning in live around the world, for those a part of the Thompson Kart Raceway staff and club, for the Ohio Sprint Series, for Taylor Burris, myself, Sander Clemens, and everyone at Kart Chaser, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.